Hello and welcome to Build Up to a Good Game. It's West Ham United taking on Southampton, 19th against 20th in the Premier League at the London Stadium. Kick-off an hour and 5 minutes away, which means we are 5 minutes away from the official lineups. And there's maybe one or two possible surprises in the West Ham team or disappointments in the West Ham team. We'll get to that in just a second. But Gonzo, how are you?
Oh, I was all right. I was better. My mood just changed within a second. Then you said, "Oh, possibly some surprises." And you said disappointments.
Depends how you view it, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I think we know how you view it. So I'm nervous, mate. I'm nervous. Everyone's nervous. I'm sure they all are. I've not even, I don't check the chat before the teams come out, but I bet there are a load of nervous people in the chat at the moment. That's for sure. What about you?
Yeah, I'm very, very nervous. I'd love to say I'm looking forward to the game. I am not. I'm not looking forward to it at all. I'm filled with dread, fear the worst. If the good thing is, if we win, even if it's a scrappy 1-0, the happiness I feel will be massive. It's almost like the result is all that matters today. I would like a comfortable win. I would like a good performance, see good football, certain players playing well, but all I want is 3 points. And if we get that, we jump up to 14. I feel good. Then we can start to maybe look forward to the Newcastle one a little bit. But the pressure on this game for both sides is enormous. And I just hope, I know people are going to say it's not because of the referee, but I just hope the referee's right for this game. I just hope that, because both teams are going to be at it. Both teams are going to want to time waste. Both teams are going to want to slow the game down depending on who's on top. And I just hope that it sort of goes in our favour a little bit. The one thing I will say, there is footage going around on social media of Gianluca Scamacca leaving the London Stadium. He didn't storm out or anything, just for clarity, but he had his big coat on, his big hood on and stuff. And he was a doubt for this game. It looks like Scamacca is unavailable for West Ham today because there's footage of him sort of speaking to a coach or a physio of West Ham, giving him a fist bump and walking out of the London Stadium. So not a great start before we even get the lineups.
No, and that would be, even if he's injured, that's fine. But why would he go to the ground and leave and not stay and watch the game?
It doesn't mean he's left the park. He could have just went outside for a bit of fresh air or something.
Oh, yeah, cool. Of course he could. Yeah, absolutely. Gone out and had a cigarette or something.
At least he's there, though. I mean, it would be weird for him to turn up and then go, "Oh, bugger it, I'm going." Unless he's turned up and Moyes said, "You're not in the squad." Then he's gone, "Right, now I'm going. Getting in, take me somewhere, taxi driver. I'm not sitting around here." Sure. But he was a doubt for this game. Moyes picked out him, Emerson, and Agard, and he's the one that looks like he's going to be missing this game. I expect he'll be in the stands watching, but a bit of a blow, really, before we even started.
And he's cold as well. You said he's got his big winter coat on as well, which is not great.
It's a big puffy one, today, is it?
Yeah, he's got his t-shirt on. Scamacca's got his coat on.
Yeah, I think he had the equivalent of like a 14.5 tog duvet or something.
Yeah, he's shivering. He's riddled with fear. He's nervous. It's the nerves. That's why he can't play. That's why he's gone out for a fag.
Maybe he watched your...
That means cigarette, just in case anyone's tuning in from the States.
What's that?
A fag means cigarette in the UK.
Yes. Yeah, maybe he watched your video about the London Stadium falling apart the other day and thought, "Bucket around there."
I'm going to put my head up.
Maybe a draft. The roof's falling to bits. There's a draft. Leaks. Leaks in the change room as well. But I'm definitely going to stay warm. But look, anyway, no Gianluca Scamacca for West Ham. Is there anyone you're hoping to see start today, Gonzo?
Yeah, I said earlier, didn't I? National Cornet Day. That doesn't mean everyone gets to eat an ice cream. I think today's the day. I think he should unleash the offsided one and get a bit of pace into the team. That's what I think should happen.
Well, I think he's possibly going to have to do that from the bench if you're going to see National Cornet Day. The lineups will be out in just a few seconds. If you're new to Hammers Chat, please do subscribe to the channel. Completely free. It takes you a couple of seconds. Click that big red button that says subscribe and also click the thumbs up. So if anyone comes onto YouTube in the next couple of hours and searches West Ham Southampton, this video will be at the very top. So it helps the channel out massively by you just pushing that thumbs up as well. The lineups will be out in just a second. Then myself and Gonzo do a little bet. And if that wins, one of you will get the money. We'll tell you how to enter in just a second, and then later on this show Charlie will be along to do an interactive watch along. We're here to the full-time whistle. Anyway, Gonzo, that's 1 o'clock, so the lineup should be out. So let's have a little look. I've not got a notification yet, but I've done the team in the background, so hopefully Charlie, he's in the back doing the stuff. You should be able to get it. Come on, West Ham, they're always late to put the team.
I'm going to move my camera up because then I can see it scrolling.
Anyway, I've got the team now.
Okay.
Charlie, the team's correct. In goal is Lucas Fabianski with a back four of Thilo Kehrer, Kurt Zouma, Nathan Gerd and Emerson. Midfield three of Declan Rice, Thomas Souček and Lucas Paqueta. With Jared Bourne on the right, Saeed Benrahma on the left and Danny Ings up front. And just to confirm, Scamacca is not on the bench. We'll do the bench in a second, but Scamacca is not there.
Listen, sorry, do you mind if we do the bench?
Okay, let's do the bench. It won't be on your screen because Charlie can't type that fast, but I'll do the bench just for context because I get what Gonzo's saying here. The bench for West Ham this afternoon is Areola, Aaron Creswell, Vladimir Soufal. We've also got Ogbonna on there. We've got Pablo Fornals, Manuel Lanzini, Flynn Downs, Maxwell Cornet, and Michael Antonio. So a very experienced bench. It's on the screen for you now. Thank you. Well done, Charlie. That's the West Ham bench.
He better win this. He absolutely better win this. He really better do. It's his. I mean, to gamble like that, he really has. He's not changed anything. Geo, he's not changed a bloody thing. And to have Kehrer at right back, do something. Put Soufal in there, ideally. If not, Johnson in there or something. Do something to put Fabianski back between the sticks. He's slowed our counter attacks right up by 2 to 3 seconds. He really has. He's done. I don't know why we should be surprised. He has to win now. These tactics have to win. You have to win. He's changed nothing. And I'll tell you what makes me really worried is if he's changed nothing in the team in terms of the lineup and the personnel and stuff like that, and Souček in there with his 1 pass every 10 minutes, whatever it was, the 9 passes in the 90 minutes, whatever it was. What's he changed in the training grounds in the past 2.5 weeks or whatever he's had in the training ground? Has he even rectified the fact that, people's morale is down and low? What was his as the way he's been speaking to the team, the way he's been speaking to the press and all the rest of it. I really, really hope that something is different or his tactics come out. I don't want us to lose, I really don't. But that team strikes the fear of God into me because it shows he is not changing. It's his crazy stuff.
It's very disappointing, isn't it? Like you said, he's got to get the win. He's massively painted a target on his back for this game. It's a very good. The good thing is, it's a very good bench. We've got Soufal, Creswell, Ogbonna, Lanzini, Downs, Fornals for midfield. Antonio is the substitute striker. Ogbonna on there. It's a really strong bench. Every position's covered. Loads of options, but yeah, I'm a bit underwhelmed by the starting 11. The main thing for me, there's 2 issues for me here. One, Thilo Kehrer at right back. I've yet to see him have a good game at right back, and he's played there numerous times. It's not like he's had 1 goal there and it was a bit dodgy. There's no Ben Johnson. I've just realised we don't have Ben Johnson.
Really? Oh, well, that might explain that. But I still think Soufal's well enough to go.
Yeah, but he might just be left out because he's got to leave someone out, isn't he? If Ben Johnson's available, someone's got to drop out. So perhaps Ben Johnson's just. He didn't mention me in his press conference. It's just clicked that we don't have Ben Johnson. So anyway, back to the starting 11. Thilo Kehrer has not had 1 good game at right back yet. Even the games he's played there and we've won, I thought he's had a poor game there. He's been like we played Aston Villa. I thought overall it was a decent performance from the team. There was 2 major weak links in that team. Thilo Kehrer was one and Thomas Souček was other. Both start today. The reason we failed to win that game, arguably, was down to those 2, or certainly they didn't help try and get the win, and they both start today. I think bringing Fabianski straight back in for Areola, I kind of get it. That's his trusted number 1. But at the same time, this is where you've come the summer. If I was Areola, I'd have my transfer request handed in this afternoon and say, mate, I'm off. Like I've waited. I finally got a chance because Fabianski got injured. I did nothing wrong. He wasn't great. There was 1 or 2 flusters, if you like. But Fabianski's had poor games as well, and Moyes has stuck with him. So that's okay. We'll give you another game. And usually, the next game, he plays well. But Areola hasn't had that chance. If I was Areola, I'd be saying, look, there's no point in me being here anymore. I know what you're going to do. You're going to wait, and I'm going to play the Conference League games and stuff like that. But this is the game that means everything. I'm sat out. Soufal will have the raging hump. And if there was an international game next week, he would tell us in the Czech press that he's got the hump. The centre-backs are good. Emerson left-back's good. Souček in there. I kind of get the Souček one. I think Southampton are weak at set pieces. They are weak at crosses. So I get the inclusion of having Souček in there for that. But when's the last time we really come away from a game thinking, well, Souček was fantastic arriving in the box and getting on all these calls? It doesn't really happen anymore. It's got to happen today. And the other one I'm disappointed by is Danny Ings up front on his own and completely out the game the last couple of games. Like I said, even the game he did score 2 in against Forest, he was a passenger for large parts of it. He was just watching the game. It was difficult to get him involved. So this is
has to win. This has to succeed, because if it doesn't, he's just done exactly. Basically, mate, it has to succeed, because otherwise you've done exactly the same stuff that's dropped us into 19th position. The stuff that's got us here, 19th, that the second worst team in the league, possibly the worst at the end of today. Well, that will be. If he loses today, we're the worst team in the league, and he's done exactly the stuff that's got us there. And it is, do you know what it is? I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's people might say it's stubbornness. They might say it's all this. Is outright defiance. That's what it is. An outright refusal to change. And it has to win. It has to win so he can turn around and say, there you go. Look, my tactics are coming good. That has to work. There is nowhere to go if he loses this one.
It's the same with like his press conference about how you saying it hasn't worked, etc., etc. You were hoping the penny might drop. I think the worst thing is we all knew he was just saying stuff for the sake of saying stuff, because he can't say it's working, because we were 18th in the league. He couldn't say, oh yeah, we're doing okay. He had to admit that it wasn't working because we're 18th in the league. But it's almost like he just doesn't actually believe it, though. Hence the lineup today. He actually thinks we're a bit unlucky, because when in the same press conference he said we'll finish the season in a strong position or something. Why? You could win every game between now and then this season, and you still won't make the top half of the Premier League. What is a strong position to you? Because to me it's top half, but to him it maybe means 15th or something. But it's just, I don't know. That lineup is just a little bit baffling, kind of thing. I think it's riskier to do this than it is to try something a little bit different. Like you said, put Cornet in there instead of someone else. Do something. But Jesus, man. The one thing I will say is
James is saying in the chat that the Southampton team's bad. He said you might feel a bit better.
Yes, the Southampton team's good news for West Ham. I'll get onto that in a second. Before we do, I just want to click on Darren. Darren's completely right with this, which is that Kerr got roasted by German media for his performance for Germany. His confidence is shocked a bit. Yeah, I've seen the Germany fans replying to like a social media post about Thilo Kehrer, and they were all saying, "Get him out of the team now. He's crap. Get him out of the team." He's come to West Ham as a German international, most minutes played under Lowe, and now he's. Well, not a low flick.
Well, to be fair, there was a case that Areola was moving from Paris Saint-Germain to take over from Hugo Lloris as the France #1. You know, he carries on like this, he won't even be in the next France squad. You know, David Moyes bad for your international career, basically.
Anyway, let's have a little look at the Southampton 11. Good news for West Ham, as there's a few absentees here. Bazunu in goal with a back four, Kyle Walker-Peters right back. Ben Narek partners collect a car at centre-back, so they're missing Bella Kochap and Salisu. So this is their third and fourth choice centre-back pairings. And then they've got Perraud at left-back. In midfield, they've got Lavia and Ward-Prowse as expected, with Elyounoussi and Armstrong on the wings, possibly. Walcott maybe on the right, and then Elyounoussi in midfield. But anyway, up front, Mara. So they're missing Salisu, they're missing Bella Kochap, they're also missing Che Adams as well. So there's a few absentees for the Saints this afternoon. I'll go straight onto the bench, Gonzo, then we'll have a discussion about this Southampton starting 11. The bench for the Saints at the London Stadium this afternoon is McCarthy, Lacano, Maitland-Niles, Diallo, Alcaraz, Kamaldeen, Orsic, Aribo, and Onayachu. Yes, that is the 6'7" Onayachu that West Ham were linked with, just for clarity. Yeah. But Southampton 11. I mean, arguably it's a good thing for West Ham. But
yeah, I mean they look awful. They do look awful, and James was absolutely right to say that. I mean, we might win this one, but he has to. He has to. I'll take no. Honestly, I'll tell you now. I'll take no pleasure in West Ham losing this as well. I don't. You know, Moyes needs to win this. I don't want to be, because I might explode if we lose this one. Quite frankly, I would be the only one, by the way. Clearly, but you know, he done enough now to make you nervous. This guy, but yeah, that is a really bad Southampton team. To your two best centre backs out. That's one thing we got going for us. We got our two best centre backs playing. So for a while, yeah, I mean, Kehra's far from ideal, bloody awful. Never mind, far from ideal, but bloody awful at right back. But they do have their two main centre backs out, I guess.
The good thing is with that Southampton team, I'm not seeing anyone there that's going to roast Tilo Kehrer, let's put it that way. I don't know who will be playing on the left for them and who will be sort of the second striker. Probably, I'm guessing it'll be Walcott on the right, Armstrong on the left, and El Yunusi in the middle. But El Yunusi might play on the left and Armstrong in the middle. It's difficult to work out how they're exactly that three are going to set up. But regardless of which one plays up against Tilo Kehrer, he should be okay. There's not a left winger in that team, if you like. So actually, our weakness perhaps isn't going to be exploited with that Southampton start. Famous last words to come back and haunt me, but I think Kehrer should be okay from a defensive standpoint today against that Southampton team. He should be. If not, listen, it's the team that's bottom of the league. If you can't cope against this slot, just give it up, kind of thing. You can just stop playing Premier League football. Right, what myself and Gonzo are going to do now, we're going to put a little bet on. And if it wins, one of you are going to get the money. Is there anything you're fancying for said bet, Gonzo?
I fancy West Ham win. I do, looking at that team. Maybe no, it's hard. It's hard. I mean, I'm clutching at straws, but maybe in a good goal or something from a corner or something.
Can we just keep it realistic? You always do this over ambitious.
Well, you know, I like to try and win someone some money. Well, if it's realistic, I can't. It's Bowen to score, maybe something like that. It's hard to think any of us to score. Really,
we can try and get £100 for them. Is there anyone you fancy to be booked today?
Oh, well, you say I don't know. It's easy to say Kehrer, but if there's no left winger to test him, then maybe not.
Let's do Lucas Paqueta. He doesn't mind chopping players down.
He likes it. Yeah, he likes it.
Right, that'll do. Because I've also put something else in. I'll tell you what they are. So this will be £150. If this bet wins, one of you guys get £150. We'll tell you how to enter in just a second. 4 things. We need West Ham to win the match. We need Southampton to have 10 or more shots in the game. Doesn't have to hit the target. Can be blocked by defenders, etc. Just 10 shots. Giant Bones score at any time. And Paqueta to be booked. £150 cash. In the live chat, please enter the following phrase.
Escape from Alcaraz.
Escape from Alcaraz. There you go. Get that into the live chat. You've entered. And if it wins, £150 is for one of you guys. Gonzo, you've seen the two teams. I think you're feeling quite optimistic more because of Southampton's team than West Ham's team.
Yeah, that's definitely made me feel better. But you know, it's that's exactly it, Tom. I started this video. I thought I'd been quite an uplifted mood, a bit joking, all the rest of it. And you see our team, and that is, you know, and you see it, you think, well, he's learned nothing. He's learned nothing. However, that might be okay. To learn nothing, you know, to learn nothing might be all right, you know, because that does look like the worst team in the league, not just statistically, but when you look at the team, I think that's awful. There was no Che Adams up front, was there?
No, he's injured.
So I guess that's going to be some benefit because he's pacey, you know, he can do a little something.
Mara is a funny one. When I watch Southampton, when I see Mara, he's always the first subbed off or the first subbed on, regardless, but for about 10 minutes in the game, he'll look good and he'll look dangerous. I think, oh, who's this guy? He looks all right. And then the next 20 minutes, he just looks crap. And then he'll come good again for 5-10 minutes and he'll just disappear again. He's a funny player. I've not really figured him out yet.
I couldn't suggest that I know an awful lot about him, but I do know that is not. I've seen Southampton a few times. That doesn't look like the team that I've seen when I've played them. There are a lot of people that weren't in the team the last time I saw him play. Walcott's been getting some games recently. I know that, and you know he's scored recently as well. But I've also seen him miss some quite good opportunities recently as well. So you know, it's tough, mate. It's really tough. Look, when you're down at bottom, and Southampton fans will be exactly the same. You know, I think if you're looking forward to this and you're expecting a win, then you're either overly optimistic or you know, you just you're amazingly you're very good at keeping all that negative stuff away from you. Because I think it's tough. It's tough when you're down at bottom. It's tough when you've seen yourself slide, and they can do something here. They can make it a really nervous London stadium, Southampton, but they're also in pretty poor form. And I think if we go ahead really early, then they might struggle to come back from it. So I'd like to see us start fast. I really would. I think that's going to be quite important on this one. But you know, we do lack a little bit of pace. So I do wonder if he's going to. I hope he doesn't do his sit back for 60 minutes thing and then think, right, I'm going to bring, you know, 2 or 3 players on to try and make the difference. We need Paqueta to have a good game here, I feel.
Yeah, no stupid free kicks outside the box. I'm not even being funny. I don't want to see Ward-Prowse line up a free kick from 25 yards out. We need to be sensible in that aspect. It feels like a very hard-working team from both managers. It feels like both managers are going for a side that can maybe just grind something out here. I think that's what Moyes is trying to do. He spoke yesterday, Friday, about the game. Very simple put it, that we need to score goals and not concede many goals in order to win the game. But I think the second part was a bit of an indication there, which is we can't really concede any. And I think the clean sheet will be his priority, because then obviously it means you don't lose the game. But I think Southampton's gone for quite a similar approach, actually. I think they could have been a bit more adventurous. If I was a Saints fan, I'd be a bit disappointed that he's got Armstrong, El-Yunusi, and Walcott in there. I mean, some of these, this Southampton team is not a good Premier League team. And like I said, even if we lose, I don't care. It's only, they'll be beating us because we are crap at the minute as well. But look at it. Ben Narek was shipped out at the start of the season. And the two teams that wanted him was us and Villa. To be third or fourth choice centre back, we were bringing him in for cover for our cover. You know, he's now in the team. And fair play to Salah, as he called him, he's put him straight back into the team. Perrault couldn't get into the team under Hasenhüttl. A good centre midfield with Lavia and Ward-Prowse.
Yeah,
El-Yunusi, one good game in 4 maybe. Armstrong, he's a decent average player. Walcott, I mean, come on. I thought that guy was retired. I was surprised to see him pop back up again. Mara's not done it yet in a penalty. This is not a good Southampton team. We have to win today. We've got to turn up. The players need to turn up. I'm just not confident that we will. I'm more nervous than I was before I've seen the lineup. I'll tell you that for free. Yeah, I am, because.
Yeah, no. Oh, yes, with the West Ham one. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I understand. But this is a microcosm of what our season is at the moment, because we only feel better because of what Southampton are doing or not doing, which is exactly how I and everybody else watching this spent yesterday, was watching the other teams, not because of anything West Ham have done. We're looking for other people to make mistakes at the moment. So that's what's given us a little bit of hope in this one, that Southampton haven't got a very good team. You know, it's hard to draw any hope from our team. I'll be interested to know if any, and I wouldn't be horrible to anyone that did think that West Ham are putting out a good team. You think West Ham are good, this is a good side, and this is a side you'd have chosen. You know, fair enough. But it's tough to look at that for me and feel motivated.
There is positives about our team. It's not all negativity. Look, Zuma and Aguero, that's our first choice centre back pairing. They look pretty decent together. Emerson's been in great form. If Rice turns up, we know Rice will be the best player on the pitch. Paqueta's got it about him. I thought, I thought he was playing really well against Aston Villa. Some people disagree, but I thought he was playing well, trying a lot of things. It just wasn't quite clicking. Bowen, we know, can be our best player. Benrahma, we know, can change a game. Ings, we know, can score with one chance. It's just getting him that chance that's a problem at the minute. There's lots of positives to take from this team. I think a lot of people are just hoping to see a little bit of change. And the change that we have seen is in the sticks, which is, Harry, you like your con Fabianski's back now, and it just drains you a little bit. And I thought against Villa we played okay. I like this 4-3-3 formation. I just want to see the shackles off Souček, though. I want to see him getting in that box close to Danny Ings as much as he can today. This is not a good Saints team. We talk about Kerr being lack of confidence. This Southampton team, there must be some players in there that are struggling with it. Well, let's get in their faces and make it difficult for them. Yeah. We should win this game. We've got the better team. We turn up, we win, in my opinion. Moyes has got the tactics right, and the players turn up. I think we'll win this game. It's two big ifs, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it is if. I think, certainly we did our teams and what we would have done, and we know Moyes is not going to do what we would have done. But even I think what Moyes would have done, I was still sort of hoping to see Areola in goal, Soufal at right back, and maybe Cornet starting. I sort of knew Souček would start, and as other things he's going to do, maybe you're sort of hoping that Scamacca might be in. Now, granted, he's injured. Absolutely fine. Totally understand that bit. But no, I mean, this is an opportunity for David Moyes to get it right. And I still, for some reason, think we win. But I'm not looking forward to it. I'm everyone's nervous. Not just I keep saying I'm nervous. Everyone's going to be nervous about it. We could really do with an early goal to, wouldn't it be nice to actually enjoy a game of football? That would be brilliant, wouldn't it? Imagine that. Imagine going a couple of goals up and enjoying the game. It'd be brilliant.
Right, it's time for you to get your thoughts in about the game. It could be about the West Ham team, the Southampton team, or how you see the game going. No score predictions just yet, please. Obviously, the poll is live in the chat. You probably saw it on your screen, just asking what you think about the lineups. Get your thoughts in on that too, and Charlie will be around to give us the results in about 10-15 minutes. But get your thoughts in. We're going to have a little read and see what you're all saying. Lewis said he tried watching Moyes' pre-match interview, decided it was more fun to punch himself in the face.
It was uninspiring. It was. It really was. It was very down.
Thank you for the £2 super chat. It says, if we go down but win the cup, are you happy?
No, go down. No, mate. Thanks for the £2, mate. By the way, no. I don't. I'm ready.
Well,
we can't
be happy about
down.
winning the cup.
Oh yeah, we'd enjoy that. It would be a night. It'd be a great evening, wouldn't it?
I think in a few years' time, I think you would enjoy it. I think you'd look back and go, do you know what? I don't really care about the relegation. We got that cup. We won the trophy. We had that memory. And I think that would outweigh the relegation. But I just think the pain of the relegation, if you like, and the frustration of the season, it would be difficult to shake off initially. But with time, I think you would be happy as it goes along. But Ricky's dad says, trouble is, we have a great team, probably the best of all the teams in the bottom half of the Premier League, but Moyes has destroyed them. I don't know. I think Chelsea have got a better team than us. So I just slipped that in. They're 11th. They're 11th, aren't they? I'm sure
they absolutely are, aren't they? That's Well, maybe they're waiting for Potter to get the sack. It looks like he probably will as well, doesn't it? He can't keep on like that with all the money.
I really want him to. He's got a lesser win ratio, including his time at Brighton and obviously Chelsea. Got a lesser win ratio than flipping Tony Pulis.
I thought you were going to say to David Moyes, and what David Moyes does is win.
Well, he probably does as well. Everyone says he's got a bad feeling. The starting 11 hasn't helped. Hayden's saying apparently Skamaka's left the stadium. It's still concerning. Yeah, I mean, there is footage, but like I said, in the footage, which is going on social media, I watched it. It's only a small clip. He's very friendly with a West Ham member of staff. He's not storming off. He's has a little chat, gives him a fist bump, and goes away with a smile on his face and stuff. I can only assume, guessing, he's travelled with the squad. The squad are now getting ready. He's not in the team, so he's gone out, maybe got a bit of fresh air. I expect him to be in the stand for today. I think the cameras will go on him at some point and say, oh, they could do with him today, couldn't they? And he'll be sat there.
He's nipped out for a chimichanga from the stalls outside.
You just never know, do you? Maybe he's going to get popcorn or something. Bro says, so line up, got no complaints. Hope the guys go out there and play well within themselves. Hugh says, today's the day. Moyes is going to be sacked. Didier said he'd be happy with winning the trophy and scraping a relegation. Oh, well, I think all of us would be with that.
Yeah, escape relegation and win the cup.
Yeah, of course.
Right, every season.
Daniel says, there's lots of positives, but only if Moyes removes the shackles. Otherwise, doesn't matter. We play 2, 3, or 4 strikers if they're playing in a defensive manner. Gary says 7 points out the next 9 is a must. Ings, Bowen, Paqueta, and Rice must step up. Last chance saloon for West Ham now.
Yeah, I agree, Gary, with the 7 points from 9.
Ooh, that's a good point. No Lanzini on the benches. Did I read that Lanzini? I did, didn't I? He is on the bench.
There's no Lanzini.
Is he not on the bench?
I didn't see Lanzini. I thought as well. I saw someone else type it in the chat earlier.
He is on the bench. I've got.
He's on the bench. He's on the bench. There we go.
But anyway, Mancini wants to see him start. He said he can do everything Paqueta can do.
I do agree. I always think about Lanzini there. If anyone, like, we've got a very defensive manager. If someone else came and took over, all right. Let's say, for instance, it happened. But you don't have to use the example of Harry Redknapp. Use whatever attacking manager you particularly want. If we had an attacking manager come in, I wouldn't be surprised if Harry came in and said, you know what, actually, to get us out of this, I'm going to put him in the team. That wouldn't surprise me. I think a lot of footballing managers would do that. I really do. I don't think he's the answer to everything, but I do think he's underused, particularly when we can't retain the ball. Certainly sometimes we have a midfielder that makes 9 passes in a game.
Chris with a very good point says, I think that we get relegated today playing Fabianski after that injury in a relegation battle is going to be a bag of nerves coming for the ball. Understandably. I mean, he fractured his cheekbone, didn't he? You can understand it.
Yeah, I 100% understand it. I mean, he was funny enough. I know it was a different one, but when I think his name was Hunt for Reading, he needs Petr Cech in the head. It was never, that's not even remotely the same goalkeeper.
I think it was a bit different though. Cech nearly died, and
Okay, but he did. But it's still going to make you win.
I know he fractured his cheekbone. I know it's not difficult, but I think there's a big difference between the two injuries.
There is a big difference. That doesn't mean there are no similarities. And if it's going to make him nervous coming for it, if his instinct, if you've had an injury and you've required some surgery,
well, this is where
make you protect yourself.
This is why I expect them in training to yesterday be pinging in crosses and having Antonio and Souček running in at Fabianski and challenging him, saying, right, come on, then we're going to test you in there now and make sure you're okay for it. And if you're going to get a bump and go down, then you're not playing, kind of thing. I expect them to have done their testing and training. The only reason I think Fabianski starts is because he's more reassuring and puts the Areola a Gerd corner thing to bed.
That's true.
Noble said he's a calm influencer, but could be key for set plays.
It's true. Yeah. All that is true.
Right, let's see what you all say. Keep your comments coming in. Acid said there's no reason why winning the Conference League automatically means we have to be poor in the league, but judging by the inclusion of Kerr and Souček, looks like we're doomed anyway. Thank you for the £5, Susan. She says relegation or not, still be watching Hammers Chat next season.
Bless you, Susan.
Fingers crossed it doesn't come to that. Dean says Danny Ings masterclass. Have faith in Danny. Hey, I think we're the last two people you need to tell have faith in Danny Ings. My faith in Danny Ings is greater than anyone else's, but it's my faith in David Moyes' tactics to get the best out of Danny Ings that I have an issue with.
Yeah, I'd have faith in Danny Ings with a 2 up front with Scamacca, I think,
Paul said, regardless of whoever he picks, if he sends them out with the same negative instructions, the result is always the same. Players have to leave his instructions in the dressing room and do what's needed.
I like a bit of that, actually. If they are overly negative and he's not changed them in the last 2.5 weeks, I do sort of hope they go onto the pitch, have a little huddle and say, right, forget what that knobhead says. Let's go and do you know what I mean? Let's go and attack them.
And Anton Ferdinand's determined for them to do that. I'll tell the story. It'll bore you. But Anton used to say when Kerbishley was manager, Kerbishley picked 11, but that was all. They did what they wanted on the pitch. They just didn't listen to him anymore. They got to the point where Kerbishley was saying, do this. And they're like, no, Gaffer, it's crap. So between them, they decided we're just going to do our own thing. But because it meant they were winning, Kerbishley was almost okay with it. So Kerbishley said, well, I'll pick the 11. You do what you want. We win. I look good. You look good. We're all winners at the end of the day. And Anton's determined to see this West Ham team almost take into their own hands, which is we're going to go and play the way we want to play and hopefully get results kind of thing. Moyes, you can have the credit. You can have all that. We don't care. All we care about is staying in the Premier League. So we'll wait and see. If we go 1-0 up and keep attacking, we know that the players have taken it into their own hands.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think I know the answer to this. What is Czech up to nowadays? I think I know the answer.
Do you?
I don't know his official title, but he's high up at Chelsea.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's. Is it? I don't know if it's to do with the academy or to do with transfers, but he's certainly in boardroom level at Chelsea. I know that because there was a period when the Roman Abramovich thing was kicking off and whatever. He was the one going out speaking to fans. He was outside.
That's right.
And all the fans were obviously kicking off a bit, going, what's going to happen? Because some of them didn't know they were allowed to go to the game. It was, talk about banning all the supporters and stuff. And it's like, hang on a minute, season tickets have already paid, so they can technically still go, but it's the match tickets you can't sell. So when all that was going on, I think Czech was actually going out of Stamford Bridge and speaking to fans, not on the one by one, but just to a group of them at a time while weaving through the crowd, just speaking, saying, this is what I know and this is where we're at kind of thing, which was good, a little bit of humanity.
Oh, but he's a club legend for them, isn't he? Regardless of what you think of Chelsea, he was very, very, very good for them.
Hammer 1999 says, big game for Ben Rama, looked good against Villa, but lacked end product. Completely agree with that. Hope he's been working on his finishing because he's got everything else. Couldn't breathing down his neck.
Tackling, he's been working on his tackling in training. That's what he's been doing.
He's tracking.
Always had them all at it. Yeah.
Oh dear. Anyway, Charlie Bealog sued with the poll results. Keep your thoughts coming in, and also it's score prediction time. So get your score predictions in. Please. You said 2-0 in the preview. You sticking with that?
Yeah, I think I will. Yeah, I sometimes like to change it up, don't I? Because I like to change it up because I think if we, do a couple of videos in the build-up and then I change it up before, I can probably say 3 scores, and that makes me right sometimes. So, but I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with a 2-0. Actually, I still, for different reasons. Actually, I feel confident. Hopeful that we'll win.
The live chat's quite confident very quickly. The first few results coming in are all for win. Steve's gone for 1-1. Sharky's 1-0. Tallis is 1-1. Disabled team is 2-2. They're Leeds fans, though. Hammer Down Under is 1-1. Scott's got 6-3, like that. Stu says 4-0, 1-1, 1-1, 3-2, 2-1. Dan says 3-1. Dan says 1-0 Southampton. Turns out Czech actually left from Boulevard, now plays hockey for a team in Chelmsford.
Is out of his keeper?
I don't know.
Or tender. They call it goal tender. Whatever.
3-1 Southampton says all out of bubblegum. Reese says 2-0. David says, well, if we go for it, we'll win 3-0, but 1-1. Brawl says 3-0. 1-1 says Ralph. Fife is 4-1. Frank is 3-0. There's like confident wins or draws. There's like
yeah. We're not getting.
There's there we go.
There we go.
A narrow win and a narrow win for Southampton. 1-0. 1-1's by far the most popular score prediction, which is
no good to anyone, is it? 1-1.
I think it's worse. I do think it's worse for Southampton. I do think the 1-1's worse because of the amount of games they've played and it'll keep them, bottom of the table. So I actually think it's worse for the Southampton, but it doesn't mean it's good for us. Harry thinks we're going to lose. Suburbans thinks we're going to win though. 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, 1-0. We're lucky. 4-2, 2-1. 3-1 West Ham. 1-0, 1-0. What are you giggling at?
I think Andy Lexus said. Basically, Peter Cech replaced his mate in goal for the ice hockey team.
Could you imagine? Just
you couldn't argue, could you? That's the thing. You couldn't really argue.
Well, it's like the Wrexham goalkeeper. I saw a clip with him earlier. Who was like the sub keeper at Wrexham. So the main keeper got injured. So the sub keeper was like, "Oh, hey, my chance." And then basically the gaffer rang him up and said, "We can sign Ben Foster. Don't want to upset you." And he went, "Yeah, get him in, anything for promotion kind of thing." But there must have been a bit of him that's like, "Oh, I'm going to be the goalie for the rest of the season. I'm going to clinch us the title." He's laying back at night dreaming of, being the hero for the last 6 games of the league or whatever and lifting title. And then they just go get Ben Foster. He's like, back on the bench then.
I like what, right, that's a good story. I like what Ron said. Where's he gone? Where's Ron saying? There you go. There you are. He's skeptical. He's where are his goals coming from? They're all you lot are predicting. There you go.
I'm gonna say 2-1. I'm sticking with 2-1. I think
where are those goals coming from?
Ings. We do have goals in the team. I'm just asking you.
I'm not mocking you. I said 2-0. Give me your 2 goal scorers. I'll give you mine.
Ings and Bowen.
Ooh, good one. I'm gonna go with Bowen and a Gerd for some reason. You
do fancy a Gerd to get the goal, don't you?
Well, I think he's a good player, particularly now he's what with him not being able to speak French with the other French-speaking goalkeeper, so he can now speak Polish in French accent.
Lewis says it seems like some of the relegation teams are picking up a bit of form, albeit a bit streaky. Do you think 34 points is still enough?
I don't think so, but I've not done that predictor thing recently, so I probably need to. After this game, I'll go and do it again, and I'll have a little look.
Yeah, the problem I've got now with like points, I'm no longer looking at the points tally. I'm looking at points between teams. I'm like, right, this is how much points we're on. This is how much points we're off that team, and this team, so on and so forth. So I've almost forgot about the points tally, and I'm looking at it as in like a little mini league kind of thing, which is it's not good. Neither way of viewing it is good. The reading is not fun. Thank you for the £5.
Sketch. Thanks, Sketch.
For the £5 super chat with these that's a nice little emoji thing going on there.
Got it nice, eh? Yeah.
Fancy. Absolutely. James reckons we need 37, so there's a couple of maybe that thinks that you need a little bit more. Anyway, right before myself and Gonzo disappear, let's ask the man, the myth, and the legend, and the shaven one. Charlie, what's the poll saying? Not Fabianski, the other one.
There you go. Sorry, I don't know. I haven't spoken to him recently, surprisingly. The poll, we asked how you're feeling about starting 11. Unsurprisingly, well, actually, it's turned around when I last looked at it. So, the smallest one is very happy. Only 4% of people are very happy. 18% of people... fans. Well, there you go. Yeah, probably, actually. 18% are fuming. 38% said it's poor. And 39% said it's all right. Which is a shock because when I last saw it before I ran away to make some porridge, I don't want to make you both jealous, but I've just eaten porridge. Its poor was by far and away leading. So I don't know what you lot have been talking about. I don't know how positive you've been, but it's turned around somewhat.
I'm in the it's all right category. I think it could have been worse, could have been better. I think I'm
in that category as well. My one problem is Tilo Kehrer. if D'Lo Guerra wasn't there, I'd maybe feel a lot more positive about my life. But at this point, I'm just gonna have to say, yeah, it's all right because
it's Ings on his own for me. That's the problem. But how do you change that without, if you say, oh, I'll take Souček out and put Antonio up front with him, then a midfield pairing of Rice and Paqueta gets a little bit iffy in there, doesn't it? So who do you leave out? It's a difficult one. So I'm all right with it.
Yeah, I'm not. It's tough for me because I sort of disagree with 4 of the players. It's hard for me to be all right with it. Do you know what I mean? So it's it's a large percentage of the team, isn't it? So yeah, tough one.
Yeah, I suppose the Fabianski one as well, but I find it difficult to really sort of relegate my opinion based on the goalkeeper when both are decent options. I think I sort of get it. I would have preferred Ariola, but I get why he's done it. Anyway, right, myself and Gonzo are going to disappear, but Charlie's with you until full time. I'll be back at halftime for a chin wag with Charlie. Don't go anywhere. Do subscribe if you're new to Hammers Chat. Drop a like in the video if you're enjoying it because it helps us out. Like I said, anyone that goes on YouTube and searches West Ham Southampton, this video will be the top result for them. So please do help us out. But Charlie, over to you, my friend.
Thank you, Geo. Thank you, Gonzo. And thank you all for joining. How are you all? I hope you're well. I hope you're good. I'm definitely wide awake. Let's go, boys. You know what I mean? Let's go. I hope you're well. I hope you're all good. Let's get over. Let's just start straight in. Let's dive straight in. Scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the most confident. 1 being the least confident possible. Very out of form. 1 being the least confident possible. 10 being the most confident possible. How confident are you of a West Ham result today? And while you get that in, I will pull the teams up so we can have a bit more of a look. And by we, I mean me. Because I type it in and then I run off and it's just a bit of it's all a bit all over the shop, right? It doesn't fully grasp into my mind. The starting 11 does nothing else. So that button and it's just hope it works. Because I haven't tested it. Oh, I'm just a technical genius. I'm a technical whiz. I do remember you, Leo. Good to see you. Hope you're well. I do. Right, let's have a little scroll to where those are. Sweet. So, Fabianski starts in goal. There is a back 4 of Kehrer, Zuma, Aged, and Emerson. We have Rice, Souček, and Paqueta in midfield, with Bowen, Benrahma, and Annie Dings up front. The bench, Ariola, Cresswell, Soufal, Fornals, Antonio, Lanzini, Downs, Cornet, and Ogbonna. I think there's, like I said, I think I'm in the it's all right category in terms of the poll, right? I don't think it's one of those ones where it feels like 5 a.m. for me, Mishma. I stayed up to watch WrestleMania, that's the problem. It's one of those ones where I think there is a lot of things to like, or not a lot of things. There are things to like about it, but there are obviously things to very much dislike about it. As Gio said, Danny Ings playing up front by himself. I don't see any way around that right now. You could play him up front with Antonio, and I wouldn't necessarily be against that. But who are you dropping? And like Gio said, then you've got maybe a Rice and Paqueta midfield or a Rice and Souček midfield and then a 4-4-2. That doesn't really sound super appealing right now to me. So in terms of that, if we can get Bowen and Benrahma up alongside Annie Dings, which is hopefully the idea, and realistically against a team like Southampton who are also struggling, who also aren't playing their best lineup, you would hope you well, bro. You would hope that we could get Bowen and Benrahma up into those spaces and really gunning for it, right? And that should help him out a lot because ultimately it's just about dragging people away from him, allowing him that space. We saw in the game where he scored 2, that's what it is. It's about dragging people away from him. And if we can get Bowen making those runs from the side, in around the back, if we can get Benrahma in and around those spaces, Benrahma not going to do that as much. But if we can, then Souček up alongside him, I think it should work out, although obviously it's not ideal. Good to see you home and away. I'm okay. I've got a massive cold over the last couple of days, which has been an absolute nightmare. So my nose is like very red raw. And I've got tissues here just in case sneezing does occur. But apart from that, I'm well, thank you. Hope you're well. And then again, care is just my biggest issue with this, right? Because care is an unforced. That is an unforced error. You know, this I could argue is forced. If you think this is an error, I disagree. But if you think that's an error, that's forced, right? This, where is it? There, is unforced. We have Soufal there. We could theoretically just not have played him and it'd be fine. Maybe Soufal isn't fit enough to play, which is fair enough. But from the outside perspective of someone who's not on the training ground every week, who's not in the kit room figuring stuff out, the only thing I can figure out is that Southampton is here, therefore he must be fit enough to play, therefore he should be playing here. Because this is a huge issue. I don't mind Kehrer in certain scenarios. In a back four at right back is not one of those scenarios. It's not one of those scenarios. And I think the confidence levels bear out in chat, right? There's a couple of people who are sort of, it's in the slightly, so it's mostly in that mid like 4 to 6 range from what I'm seeing. It's mostly in that mid 4 to 6 range with some people outside it. In general, that's kind of the vibe I'm picking up. Mark's summing it up perfectly there. Not confident at all. 2, 4, meh. And then Kevin Baxter with a minus 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 8, 8, 9, 8, 5, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4. Oh, I almost got that perfect. I almost nailed that perfectly. Let's look at Southampton's lineup. Because this is the other side of it, right? You can see there's a vibe here with the little Simpsons emoji. Bazunu in goal with Walker Peters, Bednarak, Kletekar and Perot in defence. Lavia, Ward-Prowse, Elanusi and Armstrong. Probably with Walcott and Mara. Mara being the more central guy. You've got Walcott, who can obviously play on the wing, so maybe you switch him and Elanusi about. You know, there's options here to move it around. But in general, you can sort of see how that lineup's happening, and you can see why the reaction would be less than positive, right? Because you're looking at it and you're saying there are some good players in here, and one of Southampton's big problems this year, there are some players in here who are young prospects who look very good, right? Who look like people like Bazunu, Lavia, Mara. These are players who, in the future, are probably, let's be real about it, going to be very good, but they aren't right now. So you take the risk, you bring them in, you play them a lot, you hope they get better, and then it's sort of a long-term plan type thing. The problem is with the long-term plan is it means in the current state of affairs, in the current day, that's not going to go well for you. That's where you're at, realistically. Your long-term plan's not going to do now today, is it? So on top of that, adding into not your perfect centre-back pairing, Kletekar, obviously we were linked with for ages, not your ideal front line. I can't act like it's a strong lineup. And I think that plays into maybe a little bit more of my confidence levels. Just a little bit more. Their bench, McCarthy, Linko, Maitland-Niles, Diallo, is it Alcatraz? It's not, is it? But it's in my head. It's Alcaraz is how you say it, right? But every time I see it, my brain goes Alcatraz. Say Escape from Alcatraz. It's flipping Gonzo's messing with my brain. Good to see you, Chuck. Hope you're well, bro. Hope you're having a good day. Kamaldeen, I'm all over the shop. Orsic, Aribo, and the big man, Onyachu. He's huge, ladies and gentlemen. He's bloody massive. He's over 2 meters tall. It's very exciting for me specifically. It's very exciting. Mark saying 10 rose tinted glasses. Love that. We'll take that. Let's take a bit of rose-tinted, unnecessary confidence, shall we? I'm here for it. I'm 100% here for it. But yeah, those are your lineups. And I like I say, it's not the worst thing in the world for me. I think the lineup, personally, I'm all right with it. It's a strong shout. Like I say, slight issues aside, issues here, issues there, I'm relatively happy with that lineup. Relatively, maybe happy is not the word. I am okay with that lineup. It's relatively close to what I would have picked, being realistic about it. If we're being completely honest, it's probably maybe 2 players off what I would have picked. So in that sense, I can't stress too much. Ionix is saying would love to see Antonio, Lanzini, Cornet, and Soufal. Yeah, there are people in there I would have preferred to see as well. I would have loved to see Cornet. I would love to have seen Soufal, for example. Antonio, I would have made an argument for up front as well. But, you know, it is what it is. That's the lineup. It's not weak. You could say Southampton's is weak. Ours isn't, in terms of what we have done over the course of the season. Who knows? Who knows? But you can't be sitting here, or I can't be sitting here, I should say, just full of brimming with confidence, because I'm certainly not that. I would probably put myself at a high 6. A high 6 is maybe the way I would say it. But yeah. Dean, who has a mix out tonight, unless something's changed, Dean. I did see your tweet last night. Haven't checked Twitter today, so things might have changed. Who's got a mix out tonight? Check it out over on his Twitter account if you haven't already, because they are banging. I'll never go against us, but my God, it's testing me today. A steady 6. We should win this. We should. Very much so. Hello, I need to check your messages after this. I'll message you. 1 about Mania, 2 about 2 Spanish next week. About 2 Spanish next week. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. So, next up, we have to talk about sub bingo. Let's pull on the subs bench, because you don't need to tell me who you think the substitution is going to be. All that matters really is the timing. However, if you want to get that involved, if you want to sprinkle it in there, if you're brave enough, then feel free to. The subs bench being Areola, Cresswell, Soufal, Fornals, Antonio, Lanzini, Downs, Cornet, and Ogbonna. If you wish to lob any of those in, I'm going to say 69 minutes, because some bigger is of course the game when we predict when David must make his first substitution. I'm going to say 69 minutes as per usual, and I'm going to go with Cornet for Ben Rama. That's my bet. Cornet for Ben Rama. Is it correct? Don't know. Anyway. But yeah, basically. Good to see you, Stu. Yeah, I'm alright, mate. I'm alright. I hope you are. I haven't caught up on extra. Yeah, you did do extra time. I saw it in the sub feed. I haven't caught up with it yet. Disgraceful from me. I need to go and watch that after this over on the disabled team, which you should all be subscribing to if you're in already. I need to catch up with extra time from Friday night, because I ain't watched it yet. Yeah, it is where we're at. I'm just trying to catch up with chat just to make sure I haven't. Well, I've probably missed a hell of a lot. Back in my goal tonight. I mean, it's going to be... I don't think it's going to go off over. Back in my goal tonight. And how did it... It's bad. I say this to people, right? I say this to people when we do shows together, say on Two Spanners or Hamiletics or whatever, right? When I do a show with someone, I do sort of warn them that I tend to do this like CBBS wave at the end. I don't know. It's just natural for me, and at this point, I've just co-opted it as a thing. We're just gonna wave for the rest of the time. Is what I've decided. Is what I've decided as well. Schizo, good to see you. Yeah, no time. Yeah, how are you, bro? I hope you're well. Hope things are going good for you. Hope things are going well for you. Also cold, and I don't like it. My gut says 4-3-3. My gut says 4-3-3, Ralph. Although I can't say for certain. It feels like a 4-3-3 to me. I would be shocked. I mean, it'll mold between the two, right? That's the sort of way it goes. It won't stick with one or the other. But I suspect if you're looking at it on paper as a starting, it'll be 4-3-3, and then Souček will roam forward into those more advanced positions and make it, even if anything, more of a 4-1-3-2 type looking thing. But that's the sort of idea in my head. I'm still stuck on RE2. Like, listen, it happens to the best of us. I've been blitzing RE4. Where is it? It's over there, so I can't reach it. I've been blitzing RE4. It's a banger. I know. I'm struggling. I'm struggling. You're always. I've had a bad 2023, Bryce. I can't lie to you, mate. I've had a bad 2023. I'm starting to think this as well, or something. I don't know what, just something, because it's a problem. Yeah, he's had it worse than me. He's had to go, so he's had it worse than me, isn't he? So that's where he goes. Still scrolling just to make sure, because the chat keeps skipping all over the shop. I'm going to keep going. Hope you're all enjoying Sub Bingo as a game. I'll find it eventually. I'll get there eventually. It's skipped to the bottom now. I haven't watched 4 yet. I'm going to in the cinema this week. It's very exciting. I haven't even watched 3 yet. I need to watch 3 in the next 2 days, and then next week I'm going to watch 4 in the cinema. First time I've been in the cinema since like 2020 or 2019. I'm very excited. But yeah, it's the bells. I wish it was. I haven't had any recently. We do have bells available, ladies and gentlemen. That is a thing I should say. There are 3 bells available today. If we need them, if we feel like we need them, we'll get onto that soon. But let's have a look at some of these sub bingos. Now I've managed to finally find it. It skipped away. Hang on a second. There we go. 58 minutes. Cornet for Benny. 23 minutes. Paqueta off after Kera red card. Stress Suburban, but also maybe. I don't trust Kera. 71st minute. Kera for Sue. Foul. Areola on for Fabs. 12 minutes. Stress. Very stressful idea. because it means something's gone significantly wrong. 45 minutes, Kufal for Kera. Not so stress. I'd quite like that one. 75 minutes, Ings for a defender because it's so moist. You're not wrong. Listen, if we're in the leads, positives, ladies and gentlemen, positives. 67 minutes, Ben Rama, 68 minutes, 80 minutes, 65th minute, Antonio for Ings, 76 minutes. Ron Burgundy saying, Charlie, I used to be a very positive hammer. Moyes has knocked that out of me. Fingers crossed we get a result. Hoping 2-1 coming your eyes. I respect it, Mr. Burgundy. I respect it. But yeah, I feel that vibe a lot. And then I've got to do this show. Then I've got 3 shows next week. Probably talking about this specific game in the next sort of 3 days before the next game midweek. We're facing Newcastle midweek, you know what I mean? And I've got the midweek game when I do that. And then it's a lot. 45 minutes. Look, good to see you, Logan, by the way. 45 minutes. Benny for Cornet. 88 minutes. Kera off after 5 mins as a decoy. I'll accept that. Just purely for the chaos factor. You know, I do love a bit of chaos, and that is a very chaotic maneuver. So I will accept it on the basis of chaos, even if it's not sitting with me. Antonio on for Ings at 86th minute, 71st minute, and Cornet for 75th. Southampton are gonna have an away day with Kera at right back. His positioning is atrocious. That's my big problem. That's just my biggest concern, English football. If I'm being honest, that's my biggest concern. Is just that bold. Is just the Kera at right back is just a scary thing, isn't it? It's just a scary thing. I can't act like, love. Yes, come on, CD. That's what I'm talking about. Blind optimism, my friend. Blind optimism. That's what I'm vibing. Good to see you, by the way. But yeah, it's just a terrifying prospect. But as Geo said in the build-up, not necessarily. Actually, I'll bring the full teams back up at the bottom. You can see they might not have someone really able to. Take him down, take him on in that sense, you know. It's going to be close though. It's going to be tight. And just keep your score predictions for just a few minutes longer. Think about it. Let it marinate a few minutes more, because in just a couple of minutes' time, we will be locking in those score predictions. It's a big game. West Ham versus Southampton, a relegation 6-pointer. And the first of quite a few we've got to come. A win here could do us the world of good. A loss here could be catastrophic. Both teams could say the exact same thing. A big match. So make sure to stick around. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss out on any future videos. We have tons of stuff going on. We've had a little bit of a quiet little break, you know. We've got some bits going on, WrestleMania for me and other stuff, you know. So now we're back in the full swing of things. Like I say, we've got tons of stuff coming up, so you don't want to miss out on any of it. So hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on it. While you're down there, like the video, because it helps us out massively. It means if someone types in West Ham Southampton, we're likely to come up near the top. So if you like the video, we're already at 3. We're 29 off 300 at this point, so we're flying. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. And that should help us out in a major way. And hey, patreon.com/hamchat. There's another thing. It's the beginning of the month. Although actually now they've changed it, so you can just pay. So you have the system where you just get charged whenever you joined instead of the first of the month thing. So it doesn't really matter doing it at the first of the month. But hey, it's the beginning of the month. Patreon.com/hamchat. I'll have 3 different shows going up there just this week, just in the next couple of days. Just this week alone, maybe even 4 potentially. It's probably going to be 3. So, you know, get involved. Geo Gonzo also do things like that as well. Stoop Dog will be subbed. Sorry, Mania Man. He comes on in the low rider, listening to Ain't Nothing But a G, you know, and then it changes to Eddie Guerrero's theme, which what a moment. Hits one of them, you know. Could have done that better. Mine was more Copacabana than it was Eddie Guerrero stuff. Also, I saw someone say ROH. I can't see the chat now. I can't see it now. I assume it was probably Eric. Eric, I suspect it was you. I can't see it in the chat. I do, but I haven't seen Super Card of Honor yet, and somehow I've managed to avoid spoilers. But I'm watching Super Card of Honor probably either tonight or tomorrow at this point, and I'm very excited because there are some barnstormers, and how I've managed to avoid spoilers, I'll never know. Right. we've said enough. It's lock-in time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get those final score predictions in. We've spoken about the teams, we've spoken about the lineups, we've spoken about theirs, we've spoken about the subs bench, we've spoken about potential substitutions. We've gone through it from every angle possible. Okay, we've done it all. All the vectors have been covered, which means now it's time to lock in those score predictions. You lob them in, we read them out, we get the vault, we lock it, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get them in. I'm gonna go 2-1 West Ham. That's what I'm gonna see. Okay, it was you, Eric. I thought it was you. But yes, I'm very excited to watch this. Some bangers on it. And my boy's Aussie opener on the cards, which is always very exciting for me. But yeah, let's lock those in. Stu, who is, of course, a Leeds fan. I'm frightened either team will be scared to lose. I think it's got a draw written all over it. It's a fair assumption. It's a very fair assumption, if we're being honest. Ryan needs to sit on JWP and don't give away any free kicks within his range. Yeah. Yeah, basically. Basically, Trini, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Yeah, it didn't quite have the Guerrero vibe, did it? It didn't quite have that. It's just available on hammerchatstore.com or whatever the website address is. I think it's that. Let's have a look at some of these locked-in score predictions. It is on Sky Sports today, by the way. If you're watching in the UK, it is on Sky Sports, which means I am, of course, in my home in North Carolina. That's why I'm so tired. I watched Mania at home, and then I flew to North Carolina. You know how it goes. I'm very tired. But it is on Sky Sports. So if you are looking for a way to watch the game, however, there are definitely ways you could do it. If you scroll down into the link in the description below, where's the button? There it is. If you scroll down into the link in the description below, you'll see a bit there called Join Our Discord. If you click on that, it's a lovely Hammers chat. West Ham community fans of all clubs welcome. But more importantly, on the left-hand side, you scroll down and you see stream links, which should hopefully have what you're looking for. Give or take. Again, earlier kickoff today. It's one of those things. The people in there do very good work. They do strong work, but give or take. Give or take is the other. 2-0. 2-1 says Adam. 2-1 says Ricky. 4-4. That's why I was reading ahead. Nathan plays Roblox. Going in with a big 4-4. I am scared, Charlie. No, I hope not. I hope not. Unless it was that, then I would be. I'd be scared of that as well. It's got a power to it. Reverend Dean says 3-1 to us, despite how worried I am. 1-0 Southampton. JWP3 kick. 3-0 Irons. 1-0 Hammers. 3-1 easy. 3-1 Hammers. 3-1. 1-0. 4-0 to either team. Not budging. Love that, M. Collingwood. Can't lie. 0-0 or we win. 3-0. 4-3 Madness. 2-1. 1-1. 2-0. 2-0. Got to be 2-0, please. Game abandoned due to the upsetting nature. Both teams awarded 3 points. We'll take that, Rex. We take that. I would take that. I can't say I wouldn't. 1-1 score. I don't care anymore, says Eddie. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. 2-1, 1-1, 2-1. Where are we at? I'm still scrolling. Oh, was that one here? 4-2, 2-1. Somehow 2-0 to us. Oh, my camera went mad. Taylor. Who's your favourite wrestler, Taylor? Who is it? I want a top... And if you don't have one, give me like a top 3. Come on. You were a virgin once, mate. Don't lie to me. Who's your favourite? Don't lie to me, Taylor. 2-0 to Southampton. A crowd-popping 2-1 performance. 5-1 to the Hammers, says Fremer. 2-1 to Bowen. Change my score prediction on the West Ham website. 3-1 to Hammers. Let's go. Big home and away. Big. Listen, depends how forcefully you sit. If he's lying down and you just happen to take a little perch, feels like his problem, not yours, you know what I mean? 3-0, 4-1 to us. I tell you what, there's quite a bit of... the thing is, there isn't a lot of confidence. It's not a lot of confidence, right? But there is, in reality, when it comes to the score predictions, it seems like a level of confidence. But it's one of those ones where it's going to be tight, I think, either way. Even if we won 3-0 or 3-1, it could still be a tight game. And that's sort of where I'm thinking it's going to be. Good to see you, Kevin. Hope you are. And that's sort of where I'm at. But it's gonna be a tight game, I feel. It's gonna be a tight game. Like I said, I'm gonna say 2-1. I'm gonna say 2-1 to West Ham. I think they will score. Kera's making me convinced of that idea. However, I'm going to say 2-1. I'm going to say 2-1. Major says Bret Hart, big. Great shout. Great shout. Hopefully everyone on it. Jackie Polo, great shout. Dusty Rhodes, great shout. Stuart. Who knows? Who knows, Dan? Who knows? It could say anything. Who knows? Could be anything. Could say anything. It was Tugboat. Love that. Love that. Ladies and gentlemen, the game is going to kick off in any moment now. So I would say thank you for locking in those score predictions and stick around. I have a timer in the top corner which says exactly how far behind you I will be, because it will be slightly, like I say, I'm in North Idaho. You have the slight lag of the internet. You have the slight lag of YouTube. You have the slight lag of just me and my life. So I will be slightly behind you, but there is a timer in the top corner which says exactly how far behind you I will be. However, West Ham versus, there are links in the Discord, just so you're aware. West Ham versus Southampton at the London Stadium in a big match is on its way to kick off in just a few moments' time. Thank you very much for joining. We'll be live throughout the entire game. We'll be live throughout the entire experience here, which should be fun. So make sure to stick around because we'll be live throughout all this. Geo will join me at halftime to have a little quick discussion from someone who actually knows what they're talking about, is smart, not just me. And then on top of that, we will, of course, have the full second half, followed by a live review straight after. However, West Ham versus Southampton will be getting underway in just a few minutes. We're having a minute's applause at the moment for Jacqueline Gold, who, of course, unfortunately passed away in it's just not ideal in any circumstance, the way that family's just had to go through the ringer recently. But after that, it will be underway. It will be underway. I'm struggling to... I need the volume. The volume won't let me... There we go. There we go. There we go. No. It's all gone. It's all changed. Why did it change? Okay, we're back. It's fine. West Ham versus Southampton. Live at the London Stadium, about to get underway, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new around here, subscribe, like the video, all that good stuff. And it's off. Come on, you Irons. Deploy the boys. Time to run 2 things. Southampton get us underway. Kera instantly winning a tackle. You love to see it. Probably the first of many. We'll see how it ends up playing out, how proactive the press is as Southampton pass it around at the back. Early signs are looking for it. A good start today would be very, very useful. If we can come out like we have done in previous games and just absolutely pelt them early doors, get a goal quickly, then that would be really, really good for us. That would be really good for us. I'm not super confident of it happening, but we have pressed and won a throw in instantaneously and then lost out on it instantaneously because, of course, we have. Thank you very much, Dave, for the £2. It's very kind of you. You didn't need to do that at all before I pass out. Again, fair. I hope you enjoyed last night. Gary's here. Good to see you, Gary. Hope you're well, bro. Hope you're good. Undertaker, strong shout. Cold Dust. Yes, Tony. Come on. You know? One of, unironically, the most exciting people I've seen. Because I didn't know he was going to be there, and then his theme hit, and I just got very excited. Legion of Doom. Yes. I should also update the graphic in the top corner. I should update the ticker in the top corner because it's far behind. It's far behind. Thank you all for your full-time funds today. You didn't need to do that whatsoever. I say that every single time because, frankly, it's true. But we do massively appreciate it. So I've got to type those in. Again, I really should at some point just come up with a way of doing this automatically. But until the day I get my life together... no is the answer. Throw into Southampton. They're playing it all the way back. So far, we're doing really well in terms of just getting in their face. We're not creating anything yet. Don't get me wrong. We're only a couple of minutes into the game. It's not a shock. But it's not like we're blitzing them and creating tons of stuff. But we've just been getting in their face. And whenever they've gone up the other end, we've managed to stop that. Thank you, by the way. I say it before. GP, Susan, Schizo, Callum, GP again, and Dave as well. Thank you very much, guys. You did not need to do that. Acid D, very, very kind of you. Very, very kind of you. Emerson lays it in a bit awkwardly to Andy Dings. Tries to find Lucas Paqueta. Can't quite find it, and Southampton can come away with the ball. Declan Rice, who's the one who's staying deep out of the three. Nice work. Good link up play with Soucek there just to get it out. Nicely done. Out to Ben Rama quickly. You can go forward. Again, the options weren't really open for him to play it, to progress it forward, and so you had to go back to Declan Rice. But Declan Rice, well defending there. On the left-hand side, Ben Rama looking to try and cut his way inside. It's easily cut out, but West Ham regain possession of the ball. We're doing well here. We're on top of them. Ben Rama. Cross is pretty poor. Not his best trait is crossing from side Ben Rama. He's never good at it, let's say. You know, he's never good at it. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, yes. He can be weirdly on his weaker foot more than his stronger foot, I feel like. But when it cuts onto that and he just tries to sort of pop it in, it's never a grand old time. It's a fact, Major. No, it's a fact, to be fair. Thank you, Fetty. Wetty. Thank you. Very kind of you. Very good. My guy. Shirley Crabtree, yes. Kendo Nagasaki, all the classics. Southampton coming forward, trying to find their way down the right-hand side. It's well cut out again. Danny Ings tries to cut that one out. It looks like a handball as well. It doesn't quite work out. Pressing well. When Southampton have got forward, we've managed to just sort of control it out of defence very comfortably. Very, very comfortably. A positive performance so far. For opening 5 minutes, I'm happy with how we're playing. We're the much better team. But again, it is only 5 minutes. Okay, fair. I don't need funds, but I'm not well. I'm not well. Also, I apologise for acting you in the charity stream chat the other day when you were talking about the eye candy. I clicked on it, right, because I was out at the time. I was waiting for my girlfriend to do something, so I just thought I'd watch it while I was out on my phone, and I saw you talking in there, and I had to go for it. I apologise, GP. Thank you. Oh, mankind, yes, Gary, yes. We're the only team in the Premier League who have not scored in the opening 15 minutes of a match. That is madness, isn't it? Zuma does well cutting that one out. It was a good run around the back, I think, for Walcott. It was trying to make a bit of space. But it's good inception by Zuma. That is a bit mad, isn't it, Dean? That is a bit mad. That is a bit wild. That's what I'm just thinking about it. That is just a bit mad. It's not surprising, but we have had games where we started relatively well this season, but they've been few and far between. And that was something we were really good at before. Soucek and Ben Rama linking up down the left-hand side. It's just poorly done. Soucek ends up passing it out. Just poor. They're just sort of passing it. There's a little bit of nervousness in that passing. They're just sort of letting go of it a bit quickly, which I understand. That's fair enough. But, they're letting go of it into people who are in an awkward position, and it's not ideal by any stretch of imagination. Southampton passing it around at the back. The stats were broken down in a great article on Sky Sports last night. Ooh, we're going to have a look at that later then. That's mad, though. That is mad. I don't know what it is, but it wouldn't surprise me. I don't actually know what it is. I should know. I'm doing a season with City at the moment, that's why. So my brain is in Manchester City mode. Yeah. I think the last season and the season before, it was one of our... Oh, Bowen, nice little nutmeg, but can't nothing cover it. It was one of our key traits was being able to sort of start games well, and it put us in really great positions because we'd start well, we'd get a goal relatively early, and then that would allow us to David Moyes sit back. Or Walcott, for a second it looked dangerous because of the camera angle. Walcott charging down the right hand side manages to get a ball in, looking towards Mara, can't quite find it, and thankfully it's easily cut out by us in the end. But the angle made it look deceptively dangerous for a second. Good to see you fresh. Hope you're well. But yeah, it was one of our key. It was one of our key traits. You know, we would start really well, and that would allow us to David Moyes. I think when anyone, David Moyes included, and we're solely at this point, talk about the idea of the tactics doing well for several seasons and stuff like that, myself included, even because I've spoken about it as well. I think that's the key thing that's forgotten about. Is it's not just necessarily the tactics going well. You start a game bright, you force them into errors, you get a goal early, and then that allows you to do the sit back and deep defending that we like to do under David Moyes. That allows that because you're ahead at that point. You don't need to get a goal. And that's certainly Souček thuds down there after raising up for a header. I think he'll be fine, but sore back potentially. But that's the big key here. Look, here's what I'll say. Where is it? He's 13. He is very good in FM. Every time I've used him in Football Manager, he's been very good. He also, whenever I'm not playing as them, ends up signing for a team for big money. Usually Newcastle. For large amounts of money. I think it was last season I managed to sell him to Newcastle for 80 million. It's mad. It's mad. Charge forward, all cut across from Emerson. Can't quite get their header down, back down from... It's going to be a goal kick. But again, we're getting people in good positions. We're getting people in good positions. It's opening 10 minutes. I'm relatively happy. Not exactly ideal. I'm not buzzing. I'm not sat here thinking it's the greatest game of football I've ever watched in my life. And look at us, we're incredible. But in terms of what we have had in the last... what feels like forever at this point, I'm okay with how we've started this game. Good pressure again from Souček, just getting forward. He fouls Lavia in the end, but I like the idea. Lawrence, good to see you, my bro. Hope Kentucky is treating you well, my friend. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's not vibing yet. There's obviously going to be a lot of concern in the crowd about everything. I don't know. It's also the London Stadium, which is... it's only bangs on the best of days, and they are rare. They are very rare. Plays out. This is a good opportunity for Southampton to forward. I tell you what, Ben Rama does well there. I'll give him his due. I would never usually ever say he's got any goods. I never think defensively he's the guy. But I tell you what, good little not last ditch, but good deep tackle there from Ben Rama just to stop that one from being dangerous. Southampton all of a sudden. A little bit of pressure, had numbers forward in the box and then coming down the right hand side, and he just sprinted in last second and managed to take it away nicely. It's good to see. Good to see. Bowen charging it down. Bazunu forced into an awkward clearance, and West Ham come away with the ball. Lavia takes it off Souček well there, to be fair. He's one of those good young players who they've basically bought from Manchester City. Who might not be the finished article now, but in a couple of years looks like could be very, very good. Stuart Armstrong trying to get past Emerson. Paqueta gets in and tackles him after good work from Emerson as well. All nice flicks from West Ham, just trying to get their way forward. Can't quite make it work. Stuart Armstrong on the right wing. Going to be one of those ones where it's not a massive He's a good player, Stuart Armstrong. I think he's probably a little bit underrated. I quite like Stuart Armstrong. But in terms of pace, in a 1v1 against Emerson, I'm not too worried. Then you saw it there. He tried to go for it. He tried to turn and sprint. And he just doesn't have that pace to get past him. I like him as a player, but it's kind of ideal for us. It's kind of ideal for us, especially for someone like Emerson, who I think, although has been better in the last while, he definitely has been better, and I've been liking him more and more. Cross from Southampton goes literally nowhere. There's no one in the centre, and it's easily caught by Fabianski. Then that's kind of, you know, he's known for wandering forward, Emerson, and so having someone who doesn't have that blistering pace in behind is useful. If you're wondering about the side who's going to be going up against Kera, who's been fairly untroubled, it is El-Hanoussi, who every time I think of, I hear Bela Lugosi. That's every time in the back of my head. That's what plays her. There's a lot of that going on. I keep seeing the words bacon and eggs in the chat, and it's making me very hungry. Bacon, I'm hungry, Dan, and I'm jealous. More importantly, I'm jealous. He got his stats just appeared on my screen. Only club without a goal in the opening 15 minutes. It's why it is crazy, isn't it? It is crazy, isn't it? It is just a mad stat. Not unsurprising, but it's good. It's good, HDU. It's good. I can't act like it's not. It's good. Mate, I don't know if starting... I don't know if starting the day... I've had a bit of porridge, which is good. That's fine. That's a start. I don't know if... I've been up for, what, an hour or something? A little bit more than that? An hour and 20 minutes or something? I don't know if a chicken doner that early in the day on a Sunday is probably the best shout. Not that I wouldn't. It's the sort of thing I probably would do, but it seems like a bad idea. Throw for West Ham down the left-hand side. Stuart Armstrong goes it away. Wasn't it weird seeing him there, David? It's very weird seeing... I saw people tweeting about it, being like, that's going to be KSI in that suit. And I was like, surely not. I don't know if this was leaked beforehand, but I was like, surely not. Like, it was clear something was going to happen with it, but I was like, nah, it can't be. And yet, there he was. There he was. In a bloody suit. I don't know what a Bobby match is going to be. I don't know what it'll be. I've seen people talk about Bron. Could be Bron, but I don't know because I feel like Bobby's got to win. So it's someone who can take a loss, and Bron can't take a loss. So I don't know. Zuma under a little bit of pressure, passing it back to Fabianski. Still keeping relatively calm. They're not charging us down in the same way that we find it frustrating when they pass it around the back and we don't really charge them down. The same thing's happening here. They've sort of worked their way into... It's almost the exact same style, if we're being honest about it. Sort of a little bit calmer, a little bit more reserved, just sort of cutting out the passing lanes while slowly creeping forward, putting them into more and more awkward situations until you can sort of spring upon them and they pass the ball to you in a good position or just punt it long like we just did, and now they've got a throw in, right? It's almost exactly the same. Almost exactly the same. It's sort of, yeah, Sean, it's sort of slowly coming more down. I liked the opening 10. Oh, Walcott. Bloody hell, Walcott. Walcott almost showing the arse to Walcott out of nowhere. Not that he was that good at finishing there either, but Southampton passing it around. It felt like in a fairly innocuous position. And a bit of an awkward first touch. It just sits up for Walcott, who on the spin, with his weak foot, goes for it. Hits the stanchion. Wide, but flipping heck. Yeah, I was happy with the first 10 minutes, but that trend of David Moyes sort of going for it for a bit and then stepping off again is definitely fully taking place right now, and we are We are very much whatever the opposite of descendancy is, the descendancy. We are sitting and sort of not really doing anything. Soucek and Kera pairing up for a bad West Ham throw. I would blame either one of them for that, but if I'm being honest, it's a West Ham throw. It's a foregone conclusion that it'll be terrible and we'll lose the ball. It's the way it goes. But this has gotten bad. 10 minutes I was happy, but after that it's gotten bad. I can't lie. We're sitting very deep. We aren't really pressing. We aren't really having a go. We aren't really having a go of it at all. I'm going to sneeze, so just give me a second. We aren't really having a go. They're not super dangerous, Southampton. Having said that, Pero lofts it into the box. There's no one there. It's fine. There was a moment where Armstrong could have done a pelter from range, but it's going to be a throw-in. Like I say, we're sitting deep. We're not really doing anything. We're very, 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 very reactive at this stage. We're basically just sitting there and waiting for anything to happen. We've let we were on top of this game and we've let Southampton get in control of it. At home to Southampton. In case you're wondering. I don't know. It's not for me. It's not for me. It's not for me. I'm gonna blow my nose. Because I can. It's bungy. But yeah, thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Kevin. What can I say? I provide for the people, Kev. I provide for them, you know. I can breathe through my nose again. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Danny Ings trying to come away with it. Brilliant all pass fouls him. It's going to be a free kick to us. We take it. We take it. This is one of those games. Oh, we're 333 likes, by the way. Thank you very much. We've had this conversation a lot. Free kick to Southampton. Shoot Armstrong. We've had this conversation a lot, right? About whether or not we thought David Moyes would go after certain results. You know, and I've always stuck with no. I suspect he'll be here the next game, regardless. I've always stuck with it. Today's the first day I'm not convinced. If we get a draw, I suspect he'll stay. If we win, he'll obviously stay. But if he loses, I can't act like I think I feel like it might be the time. Finally, I think it might be the time. There really are no excuses today. Brendan Rodgers has been sacked by Leicester. Bloody hell. That's the thing, it's just appeared on the screen. In the Sky Sports graphic style has appeared on the screen, despite the fact the rest of this is live from the USA Network. I don't know what's going on, but Brendan Rodgers has left Leicester, apparently. Mad. We'll see how it goes, Dan. It's probably likely right now. It's probably likely. But yeah, I think this is the one. And I think this is the one where if he loses, I think there's no excuses today. You're facing a fellow relegation candidate who are doing poorly in Southampton, who are struggling. I can't act like it's not going to happen. Brendan Rodgers in? It's true. That's true. Again, yeah, but awful timing, isn't it, mate? Awful timing. Stay up. I would never take Rodgers usually, if I'm being honest. But at this point, Rodgers in. Anyone in? The thing is, Deadly saying playing for a draw. Sure, Moyes tells them every game don't lose, but don't bother attacking. The thing is, this isn't playing for a draw. This is us playing for a win. It's just we all disagree with how it should happen. We don't think we should try and win a game like this. David Moyes only thinks we should win games like this. So it's not necessarily us playing for a draw. I know that's the easy way. Loud boos, by the way. Very loud boos. Very, very loud boos. Yeah, I think... It's just we disagree on how we think we should go and get a win. His win is a 1-0 scrappy win, whereas we would prefer to go for it. Oh, good sprinting by Danny Ings, can't quite make it happen. And the booing is the sort of thing that came out in the week. We did a video a couple of days ago. I think it was before the weekend, maybe. Was it that? Yes, it was. It was the video about coaches being concerned that if it goes badly, the crowd will turn and they'll get sacked or whatever. And I think most people, or at least Geo and some people I saw, were talking about the idea of big clash between Bowen and I'm not sure who it was. I think it was Coletta Carr. Just a big clash there. Bowen stays down. Yeah, I think realistically, it wasn't the idea. I think people took it as if it was blaming the fans. That's not how I took it. The way I took it is just a fact of life. Because we're at the stage now, the club have put us in a stage now where if it does go badly, then realistically the fans are going to get on. Are going to turn, and this is what's happening right now. They have turned. There is booing happening in the stadium. So it's not exactly rocket science, right? Bowen gets up. He's going to take the free kick, probably. I mean, Tilo Kehrer is standing over it with him, so God hopes it's Jared Bowen, because Jesus Christ. Although maybe that's what Tilo Kehre's thing is. Maybe he's just a world-class free kick taker, and we never knew. It's going to be Kehrer. Pumps it in. Again! Oh, I've changed my mind! The best player in the world. It's Tilo Kehrer. He's a world-class free kick taker. Whipping him in. Pow, pow, pow. Let's go. Let's go. Look, it'll go to VAR in terms of offside. Oh, he stopped celebrating. Wait, is it not counting? I don't want to look at the chat because you lot will know. Kehrer plays it in. Where's Gerd? I think he's onside. I think he's onside. I think there are people offside, but I think he's on. It's going to VAR. It's a great header from Agerd. The first time Gonzo saying Agerd headering's actually worked out, I think he's onside. It's incredibly tight. It's checking. It's incredibly tight. Come on, Agerd. I tell you what. Apparently, Tilo Kehrer, world-class free kick taker. Who knew? Who knew? I think he's on. He looks onside to me. Rice is offside, Soucek is offside, Danny Ings is offside, potentially even Paquette is offside. Aged, I think, is on. Zoom and Aged just standing together. It's taking a while because it is tight. Again, I'm not looking at the chat because I know you'll be slightly ahead of me, so I know you'll know. It is very, very close. But it looks onside to me. Boos ring around the London Stadium as time goes on. As the check continues. We are getting down to pixels, ladies and gentlemen. But pixels look onside. Yeah, that looks onside to me. With the old hand check, it looks onside to me. It's tight. And I need to sneeze. I'm going to sneeze in the meantime. Ugh. The hat-trick is on, ladies and gentlemen. The hat-trick of sneezes is well and truly on. The hat-trick of sneezes is well and truly on. Ugh. It's still going. The check is still going. I'm confused how it's taking this long. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, make the right decision, but surely you just draw the lines, and when the lines are drawn, you make a decision. Surely it should take 10 seconds, right? It's close. Don't get me wrong. It is close. It's been 3 minutes, the commentator just said, by the way. 3 minutes. Onside. Come on. The official confirmation hasn't come through, but the thing just appeared on screen and said onside. Again, gets the goal. It's a great header. Rises well, nods it in. Referee's about to blow his whistle. He checks it. VAR. Come on! Naif again gets the goal. Gonzo correct. It may have taken him 5 minutes to figure out whether or not it actually went into the net, but it did. Naif again gets the goal. Let's go. Let's go. Bang. 1-0. Don't get me wrong, it was incredibly tight, and I think they were drawing the lines, but just you don't see them drawing them anymore or whatever. I think that's the way it goes. Tino Kehrer, I tell you what, it's a great free kick from Tino Kehrer as well. I can't say it isn't. Like, I would never have put him in there as a guy to take free kicks at all. But he whipped that one into a perfect position, and again charges in from an offside position, not in. Come on, yes. Let's go. Let's go. To be fair to him, he did. I mean, he has called it about 10 times, and this is the first time it's paid off, but he did call it. Come on. Flipping yes. Flipping yes. My God. Do we deserve this? I would say probably not. Probably not. But again, with the goal. Is it his first? Is it his first goal? I can't remember if he scored yet. In my head, I'm saying he scored maybe in a European game or something, but I don't think he can. So I don't know. The point is, it's West Ham United 1, it's Southampton 0. We probably don't deserve it. In your face. You know, egg on all your faces. Egg on everyone's faces. All of the faces. They might change in the end. Who knows? I think he will. I think he's winning. I'm not going to lie. I think it's very unlikely he doesn't. Come on. Look, it's kind of worked out for us there. That means flipping heck. If it stands the way it stays, we are up to 14th. Ladies and gentlemen, the heady height. Oh, Perro hits it with a bit of venom, and Fabianski with a good save. We'd go up to 14th if it sticks like this. Played forward, does well. On the left-hand side, Elanusi plays it in, and when Perro, arriving late, just runs onto it and hits it with some vim. Looking for the bottom right-hand corner, and I tell you what, good save from Fabianski. Gets down well. First Prem goal. Okay, good. I was gonna say, I'm sure. I don't know why it was in the back of my mind. That's because he does it every single time, to be fair. Played forward to Saïd Benrahma down the right-hand side on the counter-attack. It's slowed down because there's just no options. And then the cross is pointless. Comes back out to Paquetá, who tries to slot it in towards the forward line. A little bit of bouncing about. Doesn't quite work out. And West Ham reset as Southampton begin the march forward. Having said that, they don't reset too much. No, they do now. Don't know what to do with myself, Dean. I'm just, we're just having a grand old time. You know? Little cheeky 10th. What a time to be alive. Did I say 10th there? I meant 14th. I don't know why 10th came out of my mouth. It might not even have. I think it did. I don't know. Whipped in. Cleared away. Southampton on the ball in our half, but sort of near the halfway line, passing it back and forth between it. Us sat as deep as humanly possible. Not as deep as humanly possible, but we're sat very deep. We're in the David Moyes formation. Soucek just battling with the midfield, who's gone down. I think it was Walker. I don't know who it was who went down. I think maybe Ward-Prowse. Got a good pass from Benrahma. to Emerson, who's got forward, looking to try and cross it in. Can't quite find it. Danny Ings comes short. He's got his arms raised as if he wants the ball. There's no real good position for him to have the ball there. He's cutting a slightly frustrated figure there, Danny Ings. But I'll be honest with you, the run he made was kind of stupid. I mean, look, it is what it is, but it's Elanusi who goes down. It wasn't James Ward-Prowse. But an attack down the left-hand side, Danny Ings his initial run wasn't bad, but then he just sort of curtails off and he's marked. And so he comes short to try and get involved in the play, but he comes short right next to a bunch of Southampton players. I'm like, you're not really creating a nice passing opportunity here. You're just sort of near him. And I'm not sure about that one still. Emerson out wide to Ben Rama. Oh, nice flick through to Emerson. Dink it. It's dinked. Bloody hell, it's almost an own goal. Elanusi gets it away. Ben Rama short to Emerson, who gets into a good position. And again, it's a deflected dink. I just wanted to see a little dink in towards the near post. Souček counter-attacking it. Pow. Doesn't quite have the desired effect. Bowen over to take the corner. Give it Kehrer. Give it to Kehrer. He whipped that one in good and proper. Give it him. Bowen whips it in. It hits the first man, baby. We don't know how to take any corners. It hits the first man, baby. We don't know. What is that? It's Psy. It's a Psy song I'm singing. That's what it is. It's Celeb by Psy. Apparently, is what's in my head. Mr. Pardew, good to see you. We're back and we're ready for it all over again. I hope you're well, Mr. Pardew. Hope you're well. My mentor, my guru, my sage, my senpai. Yeah, it's kind of an ideal situation in some ways if you're not playing well. Just get a goal. Allow the calmness. It's not been a good... like I say, opening 10 minutes I was happy. After that, not really very good, if we're being honest about it. Since the goal, maybe a little bit better, but, you know, all good tackle from Paqueta. And now we can come away with it. Ben Rama on the left-hand side looks to ping it. Oh, that's really good. Into the path of Kehrer. Oh, the touch isn't there. I'll tell you what, I'll be honest with you. The touch was really difficult. Kehrer, with his unnecessary runs forward, managed to find his being the furthest man forward. This is exactly what's wrong with him in that, with that kind of positioning. And a first touch that's better there, he could have been through, but it came to him in a very awkward way. He was under pressure. I don't blame him for the bad touch unnecessarily, but the fact he was the furthest man forward is a bit insane. It was a great opportunity there. And Southampton now in control of the ball, passing it around amongst the defenders. Sensei is a bit better. Let's go with Sensei. Roger is in Jammy Dodgers, yeah. Happens to the best of us, you know. How is he that far forward? I'm sorry, I've seen the replay of Kehrer there. This is his problem. This is why he's not good at right back. How have we on the counter-attack and Thilo Kehrer is the furthest man forward, and not in a back five where you're playing wing backs, you want them to get really high. No, in a back four, I don't know, man. I don't know. Imagine he just let it drop first time on the volley. One of the ones where it's like, if this is his boot, it skims like this part of it, just like a little skimmer, swerves in, a bit of whip into that top corner. You know, I don't even get tattoos, and I would have had it. I would have had a big one on my chest, just the word Kehrer. Just to let the people know in big, bold, impact font. Like an old meme. Kehrer. Property of Thilo. It's fine it didn't happen. It's fine it didn't happen. Jared Bowen collects the ball well, plays it out to Tilo Kehrer. Go on, whip another one in, lad. Go on. It comes back to him somehow. He's got another opportunity. He lays it short. Ben Rama tries to swip it in. But yeah. I think he's played well. I can't lie to you. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I think he's a massive liability. I do. I can't act like I'm any different. I think he's the most liable. He's as in terms of liability, he's the most liable. Okay, for me. But he's playing well. He's not had too much to do defensively, which has kind of worked out for the best for us. When he has done, he's done fine, and he's got forward well. And his cross, I'll maintain that free kick was very good. Put him on other ones. If he can do it, screw it. Just have him do it. Who cares? None of the other them can bloody get it past his first man. He puts it into a beautiful position. You know? Do I ever want to see him start at right back? No, I don't. But today it's working out for us. The way these things go sometimes. And yeah, you're not... If anything, it's fun, you know? And like I say, as a chaos-loving gremlin, I can dig a bit of that. I can dig a bit of danger. Sitting on the edge of my seat. We can do these things. Yeah, I think that's probably true. But you play what's in ahead of you. What's ahead of you is this today. Why not? Screw it. Let's go too far. It's João Cancelo. Reborn. João Cancelo, regen. Tilo Kehrer. Here he is. Whipping balls in for fun. Big hoof forward from Fabianski, and we win a throw. 5 minutes left of the first half. It is West Ham United 1, Southampton 0, which felt undeserved. Over the course of the entire half, maybe a little less so, but I would still say Southampton have probably been the better team, maybe? I don't know. We'll see what happens in the 45 minutes when Geo turns up, and then screw it, I'll just copy whatever he says. I'll just ask him, how do you think the game's going? Do you think it's deserved? And then whatever he says, I'll just agree with. All right, this amongst us, right? This is what I'm going to say. When it happens, I'll ask him if he feels like we're deservedly in the lead, and whatever he says, I'll do one of these. I'll go, yeah, no, I agree. To be fair, I'll do one of those, and then it will seem like I'm smart to all the people who come in at half time and only half time, and then they come in and they see, and then they'll think, oh, that Charlie guy's smart. All up here, mate. Whipped in. Navia clears it away. Why not? Why not? You know? Who cares? Might as well do it. Might as well. The new Gary Neville. The exact opposite. Gary was like... In my head, Gary Neville was fairly good at defending. He was a bit all over. He's fairly good at defending. Tilo, he's just madness. He's just madness. No, don't. Shh. I think I saw someone compare it to Masuaku up in the chat. I couldn't see it now. I'm just trying to scroll through to try and find it. I don't necessarily... It's like... It's weird, because I would trust him in other defensive scenarios. It's just specifically when he's playing at fullback in a back four... Wing back in a back five is not much better, but a full back in a back four, I just think he's a bit all over the shop. Oh, Paqueta tries to stop it, whipped in. Fabianski does well, palms that one away. Palms it away. Armstrong shot from range, and Bowen. Bowen manages to get that. That's an easy yellow card. That's an easy yellow for a card there. Bowen manages to just tap it away and get around. He just reaches out, gets that first touch, and let a car with what can only be described as a Charlie Walsh challenge. Just came flying in. We see there, Kera charging back, trying to keep up with Elanusi. Paqueta takes over from him, a little bit ahead, tries to step in. Elanusi just manages to get around him quite well. The cross in, palmed away, just punched away by Fabianski, which will take 2 minutes plus stoppage time left of this first half. Still 1-0. Souček battling with the long ball. West Ham managed to keep possession. Ooh, it was a nice idea. I don't know who played it first time. I think it was Declan Rice, but it was a nice idea. West Ham get thrown in a deep position. I'll be honest with you. I expect nothing. And yet I am still disappointed when it comes to West Ham throws. It's just the way it goes. Oh, that's harsh, HDU. That's harsh. I mean, he was bad, but that's harsh. It's fine. He's still our player. He's going to come back at the end of the season, isn't he? He's only on loan, right? They ain't taking up that offer. They might do, to be fair, but I doubt it. Then a new exciting attacking manager, Brendan Rodgers, comes in. All of a sudden, Masuaku back in the squad. Back in the squad. Letting overlaps go for fun, you know? I'm quite looking forward to it. I've got a really itchy ear. Just said that out loud. Listen, I'm not going to go into my politics banter. The way the Conservative Party have been going last year, he'll be the only one who hasn't been Prime Minister by the end of the year. Okay. I hated that as much as you did. Just so you're aware. I hated that as much as you did. Judas, my trustworthy friends. Good to see you. Let me lob that up for you. There you go. Ariola, Cresswell, Sufal, Fornals, Antonio, Lanzini, Downs, Cornet, and Ogbonna in shirt order. Hooked away from Southampton. Shouts of handball from the home crowd, but it does well to keep that one out. Dinked forward from Paqueta, can't quite find it in there. Nodded away from Southampton. Paqueta goes flying in there. It's going to be a throw in to Southampton. Tilo Kera, man. That cross, man. I'm still envisioning it in my mind. It was the way it bends and then just comes back like that. Oh, it was beautiful. It's like Payet was playing for us again. You love to see it. Thank you, Val. Thank you, Val. I appreciate it. Oh, Daniel Ings, man. What were you doing? What's it, Daniel? Okay, he's offside. So it's fine. We can forgive it. But Daniel Ings, what was the idea there? Souček lays it out nicely to Ben Rama, and the ball through, he is about a mile offside. It's fine. But he completely misses the ball. For Pete's sake, man. For Pete's sake. What could possibly go wrong? I tell you what, she won't be defensive. We can claim that much. We will no longer be playing risk-averse football. If anything, it will be terrifyingly on the edge. It will be very exciting. Ball over the top. Ooh. Bowen does well. There's some options there. Bowen bends it off the bar. Oh. He hits the bar. Paqueta tries to whip it back across. No one quite there. Hooked away. Kera loses out. We keep possession. There's still quite a few people forwards. We keep moving in. I dare to look at the chat. You don't seem to be talking about a goal, so I don't think it's going to happen just yet. Emerson has Bowen short, has Danny Ings just ahead of him. Can't quite find either of them. Declan Rice collects it well, lays it out wide to Tilo Kera. Master crosser, Tilo Kera. Straight into the hands of Bazunu. Well, not straight into the hands. It's off of the... Off the bar from Jared Bowen, puts it onto his weaker foot. There were options there, and not any great ones, but there were one or two layoff options, and instead he tries to bend it with his weaker foot. He does well as well. It's really well angled. It's pings off the bar. Pings off the bar. There's a Southampton player down right before the end of end of the half here. I'm not sure who it is. Can't see. Their face has been covered. Is it Walker Peters? I think it's Walker Peters. It's a great question. I don't actually know. But great question. I don't know. Bend it like Beckham. What a film. I was watching the beginning of that the other day for some reason. What a film. What a film. Mate, just hit it out here. Mojo Jojo style. Listen. The ingredients are there. You just got to mix them. The ingredients are there. You know? It's like a cake. Right? The ingredients are there. It's like a cake that is really good, but it has one specific ingredient that is just trash. And that specifically is probably David Moyes. But the ingredients are there. The ingredients are there. Would I take Dubravka from Newcastle? Kungl is a great question. No. He's a good goalkeeper. There is half time. It's 1-0 West Ham. He's a good goalkeeper, don't get me wrong, but we don't need him. We have two goalkeepers who I would say are as good, if not better. But yeah, half time, and it is West Ham United 1, Southampton 0. Insanely, Thilo Kehrer with an unbelievable assist. Whips it in from a deep free kick into the perfect position, and again getting his first West Ham Premier League goal. You love to see it. Other things you love to see. It's only Geo Mackie, ladies and gentlemen. Geo, do we deserve to be 1-0 up? What do you think?
I don't know if I'd go as far as saying deserve it. I think since the goal, I think we've been the better team. But up until the goal, not really. We probably didn't deserve to take the lead, but we have. At the end of the day, we're happy to 3 points, which is the most important thing. But in terms of performance, it's not exactly thrilling, is it?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think opening 10 minutes, I was happy. That classic West Ham little push at the beginning. Oh, look at us, we're doing a lot of bits and pieces. And then after that, we just dropped off massively. I think from the last bit after the goal, there was like a brief spurt again where it felt like we're a bit more and it was a bit more even, but there was a long period there where it felt like they were on us, if we're being honest.
Yeah. It's a difficult game to play in for both teams, really. There's a lot of pressure going into it, and we looked really nervous at the start. But until we scored, Charlie, the football was horrendous. It was really, really bad. There was just absolutely nothing. I was sat there thinking, what on earth is this? This is... And to be honest with you, even now, I'm grateful that Southampton are crap. They're really... Southampton are really... really bad, and that is why we're winning. Got a set piece goal, which was good, but Bowens had the effort. That hit the bar, was very unlucky. But apart from that, there's not been lots to sort of jump and cheer about. Like I said, I'm just grateful at this point at how bad Southampton are.
Thilo Kehrer, it's low key. Just have him on all set pieces from now on, apparently, because that cross was. It was beautiful. Again, good header. We can talk about that as well. I just wanted to bring it up because, my God, I have never criticised a man. And even when he was standing over it, I made a joke about him taking it. And then he puts in an absolute pearl
but his
of a cross.
distribution, nobody's ever really had any complaints about his distribution. I think that's always been good. His positioning's the problem. But yeah, fantastic free kick from him. And wonderful header by Agard, and does really well to stay onside, because you look at how many of our players are offside, which quite frankly, it's ridiculous. We've got about 3 or 4 just stood still, just offside, and they're just staying offside the whole time. I'm like, what are you doing? But at least Agard sort of jolted back, got onside, and then went with the run. It was a fantastic header as well. But yeah, good ball in by Kerr. Happy days.
More time to be alive. Right, I shall be back in a couple of minutes, Gio. Enjoy yourself.
Cheers, Charlie. Right, let's see what we are all saying in the live chat. Thoughts on Rodgers leaving Leicester? Felt inevitable, really, didn't it? I did wonder if they were going to stick with him, actually, till the end of the season. But unlike us, I'm sure there's probably been a point someone's going to tell me I'm wrong here and factually prove me wrong. But I don't feel like we've gone this long without a win like Leicester are. Maybe, obviously, European football's helped us a little bit, but they've been terrible. They've needed to get rid of him, to be honest with you. I think it's probably the right thing. And mutual consent as well, which I believe, because Percy, just before it was officially announced, Percy put up saying that there was a conversation between the two of them. So he can go get a new job tomorrow if he wants to, whether that is Tottenham or whatever. We'll have to wait and see. But unsurprising, it'd be interesting to see who they get in. Really, who's going to go into that job with this little time on their hands? There'll be a few takers, I'm sure, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Breezy says Paqueta's passing's been sloppy as hell. Out of possession, he's done well. Makes you wonder how little we're doing training when it comes to build-up. He has been a little bit rusty, hasn't he? We'll deal with the questions for next season. Another team. Robert says both teams are piss poor. Gary said this time of the season is the results, not the performances. 1-0 will do for me. Yeah, if we can get through to full time, then yes. Yes, I did talk Gonzo. I can't believe I did it. I mean, come on. Wait, no trusting Gonzo. He got this one right. He's been saying a gird to score since he's been back in the team. He's finally got it right. You keep saying the same thing every week. You'll eventually get it right, won't you? Anyway, I thought I was playing it safe going Bone, but yes, Gonzo did call a good goal. Hopefully he's done a little bit himself. He's probably only got £1 on it, but to be fair, we've got decent odds for that if he did first goal scorer. Ruben says Ings needs to stay up top or we're better off with Antonio. Does that job better? I don't disagree. This is Antonio tactics, really, isn't it? But Ings is the one leading line at the minute. But you can see him getting really frustrated, though. There's been a couple of times down the left where Emerson's got the ball and he just takes 2 or 3 touches and Ings wants it straight away. By the time Emerson goes across it, Ings is marked up. The defenders are in position. You can see him getting a little bit pissed off, really. Richard said, lack of urgency in front of goal and half chances, staying relegation in the mouth, we look lacklustre. Daz, I would like to see Lanzini come on for Soucek, but Moyes probably being on for now. I think this is the type of game that would suit Lanzini, actually. We just need somebody just to calm the game down a little bit. Muddy agrees, Lanzini would shine. Scott thinks Ben Rama's grown into the game beautifully. Started off a little bit iffy, didn't he? Derek would like to see Lanzini replace Paqueta. Stephen says you can see fear of decision-making final third, players second-guessing themselves, resulting in dither and delay and ultimately minimal to no chances. I completely agree with that. Emerson being the main culprit. Leo says what helps is that we're at home. Soucek needs to come off, just a passenger, and also we need to talk about Bowen's greediness. To be fair, he was a bit unlucky. His greediness almost ended up in the top corner, but he also thinks... Ben Rama, brilliant. Bowen agreed. I think Ben Rama's played fine, but I think Bowen's playing fine as well. Will says, I'm obviously happy with the goal and 3 points if we get them, but I'm obviously struggling to have any excitement due to a poor performance. I just feel deflated. I kind of get that one, actually. I kind of get it. The performance hasn't been great, has he? And as I said, Agard was 28-1 to get the first goal of the game. Ryan, if we win, we go 14th. We jump all the way up to 14th in the league. Russell says Soucek's poor passenger in the team. Artel thinks Agard and Rice are our 2 best players, while Suburban says Southampton look toothless, but I can't trust us to keep a clean sheet. Good save from Fabianski from El Yunusi, though. Got down really, really low really quickly. Yes, Hughes says the same thing. Paul thinks Soucek's not looking too great. Hammer 1999, we'd like to see Downs or Lanzini on for Soucek, and we can win 5-0. I think he's maybe having a little tongue-in-cheek there. Soucek's been horrendous, can't make passes, isn't winning tackles or winning headers, so what's the point? Johnny says Paqueta is yet to prove anything. in a West Ham shirt. Well, Gio, what are you doing here? I want to click on someone. Here we go. Dean says those talk about Zuma, arguably our best player in the squad overall. He hasn't been tested that much, really. Fab save from Perraud was nice. He sort of late and put out of a corner, not just straight back into the box. I thought it was Al Yunusi. Never mind. Lassie Dog says Saints are there for the taking. If we can just turn up the passing and pace, and we can quickly get the second goal and close the game. I agree with that. There is an opportunity there to go get a second and possibly, hopefully, like a third. And we've got some players on the bench to do that. Cornet being a prime example. Antonio is a good sub for this type of game. Lewis says we're lucky Southampton are so bad. They've had a lot of good opportunities. They're just crap, aren't they? Southampton are diabolical. William says everyone's talking about Souček while Paqueta's having another awful game. I think there's few people mentioned Paqueta being played poorly as well. Them two are not playing great. Five Hammers fix them both out. He says Paqueta and Souček are crap. Get them off. The one thing I will say about Paqueta, he's not playing well, by the way. He's not. But the one thing I will say, he's willing to sort of just receive the ball. I think some of our players go hiding a little bit too often, and when the centre-backs have it or that, they're not too keen on taking it from them. But at least Paqueta, I think, he's happy to collect the ball in any position of the pitch and so on, but he needs to polish his performance a little bit. I don't think it's been his best display in a West Ham shirt. Michael Levy says that he's been underwhelmed, while David Bennett says Paqueta's been really poor, doesn't look bothered. John says, poor today, but 3 points all it counts. It's so demoralising watching such a woeful football. It's not great, is it? Dean is praising Lavia. Yes, he is top player. Will be at probably at a Champions League club next season. Joshua says Paqueta's been fine. It's hard to place his strengths when Souček and Ings don't make themselves available. Hammer Time says if we don't go and win this, it'll be due to us. Completely agree, to be honest with you. David says seems like he's behind Ings and needs to play deeper. Top player, I'm not sure on him. I think he's talking about Paqueta. Sometimes he's dropping deep. I think he's almost got like a bit of a free roll, actually, which would arguably make it worse if he's not impacting the game. I think he's just been a bit sloppy at times. I don't think it's his best nor worst performance in the West Ham shirt. He's getting involved. He's just been sloppy. It was that pass out to Emerson. It was on his right foot, his weaker foot, but still, it's a pass you expect him to be making. And same with Souček, who tried to pass to Benrahma again. So some of it's unacceptable. Is it nerves? Is it lack of confidence? I don't know, but we can't afford to be giving possession away so cheaply, especially when we're in the position we're in. We need to be doing a lot better than we have been. Ryan saying, how did we get this bad, honestly? Double X says Paqueta needs to learn how to know what he's doing before he gets the ball. It takes way too long to get it forward. But anyway, yes, so we're winning 1-0 at half-time. That's the good news, and that's about where it stops, to be honest with you, Charlie. There's not loads to be positive about, but we're winning.
Are you confident that we'll see it out?
Yes, because Southampton is terrible. I think they are. I mean, listen, the pressure's on them to make substitutions. They're going to have to change it. They cannot continue doing that in the second half. They need to do changes ASAP. I'd imagine they'll change the striker first of all. Mara will come off, and that Onyachu, how you pronounce his name, will go on the big geezer up front, just to give them an outlet, if anything, just because they are getting up the pitch, Southampton. They're just not really creating any chances. So you've then got a big target man in the box. That gives you something at least to aim for. But the pressure's on Saints to do the subs, and then this is where you need Moyes to be reactive, possibly even a little proactive. I think, I don't know when, but I'd be inclined to bring Antonio on for Ings at some point, because I think the game will suit Antonio, and probably Lanzini or Fornals for Souček, just to bring that composure into midfield, just so we can start dominating possession a little bit. This is not a good Southampton team. We need to win today. It's as simple as that. Say a bit of good fortune. There wasn't any good fortune. We won the set piece. We scored the set piece, but our performance hasn't deserved us to be leading. We could play 15 of the teams in the Premier League like that in the first half and find ourselves 1-0 down at half time. We are leading because Southampton are god awful. We need to win the game regardless of how well we play or how poorly Southampton play. We need 3 points.
How many more goals do you think we have in us?
Pardon?
How many more goals do you think we have in us? Because way
I think we'll score again. I think we'll score again.
Because the way I look at it, I always think when I'm trying to do score predictions, I always think, right, how many do I think they could score? How many do I think we could score? And then the score comes from that, right?
We've seen...
And I look at it, and I felt like Southampton could score before the game, but now I look at it, I'm not as convinced. With us, I feel like if we just stepped up even one level, we could probably get a second. Not easily, but comfortably here.
Yeah, we've got... we'll be able to play a little bit more counter-attacking. We saw it in glimpses at the end of the first half there. And I think that'll suit us a little bit. I think it'll suit Ben Rama. I think it'll suit both. I don't think it suits Danny Ings personally, but you saw his run there, which he did. He was offside. He did a step over kind of thing. Where he is eager. We just need to be quicker getting in the ball. But if we aren't going to do that, then... get Antonio on and let him cause a little bit of havoc, This has been the argument all along. Antonio has a role, just not as the main man. And this is his role. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the second half, actually.
Fair. Then I shall let you go, Geo.
Cheers, Charlie.
It's a thing, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a big old second half full of fun and frolics and no score predictions from Geo. He'd still hear me, it's fair. How do you all feel? Let's get some final score. Let's get some score predictions in chat. Because, like I said, I felt like before the game, I felt like I was relatively confident that they would get a goal. At this stage, I've certainly taken a step down in my confidence with that. Whereas for us, I feel like I said there, I felt like if we just turn it up just a little bit, I feel like we could get a second goal here. The signs are there that we could. Whether or not it happens, the signs are there. Yeah, we are poor. Leicester second has given me hope. It's an interesting one. I'd be interested to see who they get in and replace him. At this later stage, I would be very interested to see who they get in to replace him. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who it will be, but I don't know. It's interesting. It is interesting. It is an interesting one. It throws some stuff up in the air. Reese is saying 2-0 as the teams come back out. I'll let you know if there are any substitutions. Can't see any, but it is 2-0, 2-0, 1-1, 3-1. No changes, says Bob. Appreciate it. I can't see any yet either, so checks out. If they score next goal, I'll be fuming. 2-2. 2, come on your eyes, says Leon. Let's go, Leon. 1-0, 1-1. I said 4-0 to either team before we started, so it'll be 4-0 to West Ham. Logically, M. Collingwood, it has to be. It has to be M, That's just the fact of life, it is. But 1-1. 1-1. Sit back and make no changes to a 75th minute. Yeah, probably. West Ham are going to kick off the second half. I should probably change this timer to be correct. As the second half is about to get underway live at the London Stadium, it's West Ham United 1, Southampton 1. Come on, you irons. Deploy the boys. Let's go. Subscribe, like the video, all that good stuff if you haven't already. They're going to get a jammy goal. It'll end 1-1, says XX. 3-0, 2-0. Trouble is, after half-time, we'll be defensive and that leaves us open. Southampton are poor, but we've had a couple of chances. Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point, Susan. We will be, say... bold. Wild. It feels almost pointless. I don't know. I feel like this game is ours for the taking, but we just have to take it. And that's not something we're very good at. I think, Susan, you make a good point about the idea of let's go. I always forget. Is it at Dean Marsh or at Dean R. Marsh? It's at Dean Marsh. It's at Dean Marsh on Twitter. If it's I'm sorry. I forget every single time. I confuse myself and kind of. I do think Susan raises a good point because of the fact we are 1-0 up. We are going to put pressure on ourselves in that sense. I do think that is very true, and that'll invite Southampton onto us. And I would be interested to see, like Gio said, let's say Oniachu comes on, who is just bloody massive and can be a good outlet. I would be a little bit more concerned if they're on top of us. Because right now, they're on top of us, but the way the team that they've got out there, the structure they've got, the players they've got out there, you're looking for some sort of... You're looking at little chances, right? And we're not going to give them much space. You know, Walcott, Mara, they're space finders. You know, they're going to run in behind. They're going to do stuff like that. We're not really set up to allow that to happen. Whereas if you bring Oniachu on and he's just this big old lump, hasn't scored in the Prem yet, but all of a sudden, if you're on top of us and we're sat deep, you all of a sudden have an outlet in the box at all times. It might not be the outlet you're potentially wanting. You might want to play something different. But if you just have this big guy in the box, even if you get slightly further forward, just dink it in towards his head, see what happens. And as confident as I am with Kara and with Aged and Zuma at centre back together, aerially, and I like as a defensive pairing, I like that. Realistically, he's huge. He's 6. He's with the God damn it! Why do I forget every single time? Dean R. Marsh. I'm such a failure at this. Dean R. Marsh on Twitter. Get involved, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the worst. But yeah, I feel like it could happen. It's just useful for them. Sumo. It's a big call, Sumo. I understand the thinking. I personally wouldn't agree with it, but I understand. I can't say I don't understand the thinking. Oh, that's a great shot. I didn't even think about the FFP. I didn't even think about the FFP implications of getting rid of a manager. That's a great shout, though. I've made myself a hot chocolate. I just wanted to let people know because I'm excited about it. Southampton dink it forward. All looking for Walcott. And again, it's those deep, long balls. That's the sort of thing that Southampton has sort of set up to take advantage of. If there is a little bit of space in behind, just that long sort of ball over the top, finding the space is what they want and what they need. One problem with hot chocolates, they stay absolutely boiling for ages. Second time in a row there in quick succession where Theo Walcott's on that last man. He is offside. Mara just trying to just slot it through. No. I have done in the past. None in this one. It's just a straight hot chocolate. We don't have any in the house. I think on a watch along, I probably wouldn't go for the marshmallow at the same time. It feels extravagant. But I've been known to do it. Played forward, takes it on in his man at Southampton, dinks it in. So Walcott can't quite get there. Armstrong tries to dink it back across, and again they're dinking it to small men up against big men, and it was never going to work for Southampton. Paqueta under a lot of pressure from Perot, literally grabbing it. He does really nicely there, Paqueta, and him. Some awkward play from Kara, loses out on the ball, but I tell you what, it was nicely done by Paqueta there. He was being, when I say grabbed, I mean literally like he was being gripped up by Perot, and he just sort of stood his ground and then just sort of flicks it around the back of him. Nice little back heel, pat. You know? Listen, he's a man who has lots of good ideas. Bin face, that is, not Kara. There are bells available, Kelsey, MC. There are bells available. We have 3 in the fridge, ready, in case the chat call for them. Do you know what, Peter? I'm going to admit this. I don't know what Bovril is, and at this point, I'm too afraid to ask. In my head, Bovril is basically Marmite, but like boiled. But I don't know if that's what that is. It's just what I've always assumed it was, and I've never had access to Bovril to confirm nor deny my idea. In my head, it's like a Marmite-y gravy. Oh, that's a good ball. Ben Rama can't quite get there. Danny Ings' little dink over the top looking for Ben Rama. It was a really nice idea. He just couldn't quite get there. It's going to be a throw. There is going to be a substitution for Southampton incoming in a minute. Emerson tries to just drive it across, can't quite get there. Playing ourselves into a little bit of trouble there. A little bit lackadaisical passing. We managed to come away with it. Oh, Soucek does well to win that one, but can't get any sort of control on it. It's just battling and then pushing him further back. He's the first person forward here. Soucek tries to put goalkeeper under a little bit of pressure. Only a little bit, a minuscule amount of pressure. Paqueta does well, battles for that, wins it twice. Good work. Plays it out wide to Ben Rama. On the left-hand side, looking for the crossing position. He's got Soucek in the back post. He tries to stand it up for him. It wasn't bad. It's a better cross from Ben Rama, but it's still not great. In that, we don't complete it rather than anything else. Emerson back out to Ben Rama again. Takes it on, puts it in. A little bit. No one can get there. Paqueta gets taken down. He wants a free kick. Referee says nothing to be done. We work it well to keep possession, but a little bit of awkwardness and it manages to go all the way back to the goalkeeper. Ooh, there you go. A double sub from Southampton happening. What? So it's beef. So that's what it is. So it's beef Marmite, but it's a lot better Marmite. To be fair, I do like Marmite. But fair, it's beef Marmite. So I was right, it is a Marmite thing. Suleiman is coming on for Ella Anusi. And then Alcaraz coming on for Mara. Did you say Suleimana is their record signing? I did not know that. One point over it. Seabean? A little bit. Strong opinion from Ionix. I love it. I like Marmite. Not a lot. When I say not a lot, I like it a lot, but I don't like a lot of it. You know, I want it thinly spread on my toast, but I do like it. So maybe a drink version of it with beef involved could be something I'd be into. So I'm going to say I don't know who asked the question. Do I like Bovril? I'm going to say, conceptually, theoretically, yes. Yes, I do. West Ham struggling to get the ball out here. Southampton completely on top of us. Every single time we get the opportunity to do anything, it just ends up being super stretched and big balls that are fanciful over the top, looking for sort of anyone or anything. Pardon me, to happen, and it's just not. Frankly, it's just not. Although this is a good opportunity. Ben Rama looking for a big cross for the most pointless ball I've ever seen, and Bowen manages almost to make a goodness, but that was awful. What was the idea there? We had, all of a sudden, for the first time, we had the ball. That was just panic. Because all of a sudden, we had the ball in a good position with good options around and ahead of him, and he just decides, watch this, and pings it. Completely crossfield diag, looking for Bowen. It was just nowhere even near him. Stupid. Bowen collects the ball there, lays it off to Danny Ings. He's onside. He's got to run at the defence now. He's won. They've managed to recover, but he manages to keep the ball. Finds Bowen, hits it high and wide. Danny Ings makes a really nice run there, just keeping onside on that last man, but he just doesn't have the pace to beat the defender. He's slow as all heck as Danny there. That was bad. And then he just can't dribble past his man. Bowen ends up collecting it when Danny Ings fails and just ends up taking a wild shot. That was bad. No. Paul has decided to eat every condiment known to man at the same time. Toast with Marmite, marmalade and peanut butter. At once or separately? Because if you're saying separately, love all of those things. Highly for it. Are you talking together, Paul? Because that's a bit wild. Suleimana hits it. Just wide. Picks up the ball there off a little bit of a Paqueta mistake, and then just drives at it, takes it past Emerson, and then it would have had to have been something very impressive from that sort of angle to hit it at a slightly tight angle, going for it. We just look a little bit out of ideas. You know? All of our chances seem to be coming from their mistakes or just a big punt. It doesn't feel like we're creating anything. It doesn't feel like we're actually we're doing anything with any purpose. You know? We really are just sat dealing with it and then just sort of hoping that it works at the other end. Alcaraz's reaction there tries to just little skimmer across the park to play it out wide, deflects off the referee, and he just sort of goes as if just in the most like get out of the way maneuver. The doctor recommended it. Let me just scroll back up just so you're aware of what the doctor recommended. Marmite. Hang on, Paul, that's a different one. Marmite top with... What is going on here? Paul, you're running wild, my friend. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? My nose is so itchy. Suleimana wide on the left-hand side, trying to find his way through. He is just covered by about 18 boys. Ball manages to come in, and Soucek is the one who stops that one from getting any further forward. But there was just a lot of boys there. A lot of boys. Antonio for rings, corner for Ben Rama. Pace. Just a lot of it. Corner for Benny. I'd back a corner for Benny. I would back that now. I think you're both correct. I wouldn't necessarily be against an Antonio for rings either, if we're being honest. If this is the way we're going to play, he might as well be on the pitch. That's his thing up front. That's his thing. That's what he's good at. What's the point in playing this way and having the wrong striker on the pitch? We might as well bring him on. Declan Rice wins a free kick against Alcaraz. Didn't think it was a foul myself, but there you go. Okay. Antonio is receiving instructions from Kevin Nolan on the iPad. Hot chocolate gone. Hot chocolate gone. Yeah, Antonio is now stripping off. Walker Peters trying something. Good block by Emerson. Hooked away from Ben Rama. Danny Ings battles for it. He wins the throw in, to be fair to him. I think Danny Ings has just realised he's coming off. He wins the throw in there, and as he was just walking past David Moyes, not purposefully walking past him and making a point, but he was right down by him. You just see him shake his head and looking at the floor. He knows he's coming off. Soucek dives in wildly, misses that one. Southampton can come away with it. But I tell you what, Ben Rama dives in wildly but wins it. Fair play. Southampton still have possession of the ball. They're coming forward. Played in by Armstrong. Good block from Emerson. It's going to be a corner. Jay, Good to see you, bro. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Good to see you. I agree. I think his body language is poor, but I think that's just what happens, right? I think that's just what happens. You're playing in a system where you're not getting any opportunities. You've been brought in to score. You're not getting the opportunity to even... Oh, bloody hell. Bloody hell. Lavia from range there, just driving it low. And Fabianski collects it strongly, but all of a sudden, it's scary. Yeah, I don't necessarily blame him, but yeah, no, it is poor. It is poor. If we stay up, does Ings stay with us? Yeah, I think he stays with us regardless, if we're being honest. I think he stays with us regardless. No one's buying him from us. It was a bad... From a meta standpoint, from a business standpoint, signing Danny Ings was a bad move. We can't get rid of him. We're not going to be able to get rid of him. On the wages, he's on 0 chance. No one's taking Danny Ings on that. He'd have to be on a free transfer. And even then, he's probably not going to get the wages he's on with us. It was a bad transfer. He'll stay with us either way. Unless we get relegated and someone... And we'll take a cut price deal for him. Then maybe, just maybe. But I really can't. I really can't think it's going to happen. Soucek nods it on, looking for Daniel Ings. Can't quite find it. Tell you what, fair play. Good interception from Kara. Fair play. Passing it round about. Oh, that's nicely done. I tell you what, that's nicely done there. It was a good ball forward from Aged under a lot of pressure. Finds Ben Rama, whose flick on towards Danny Ings was good. Danny Ings off. He's not happy, is he? He's not happy, and you can't blame him. Frustrating day for him. And frustrating day for him, but realistically, if we're going to play this way, there's no point in him being on the pitch. It's just not him. I agree. But, you know, it is what it is. Charging forward, Bowen lays it forward, can't quite make it happen. Or a second time, Bowen hits it off the blocked from the last man from Southampton. Don't know who it was, and now Suleimana can come flying forward. He's got pace, doesn't he? Good interception though. Got no interception, just a good tackle, comfortable from Declan Rice. West Ham play it between him, Kera, and Paqueta getting the ball forward. Here comes Jarrod Bowen, charging forward, plays it in, and no one even remotely close. That's such a good opportunity, but Antonio was dropped off massively. Ball gets played into a really dangerous position from Jarrod Bowen, just pulls it across the box on the floor. Soucek is there. Ben Rama at the back post. Neither of them in a good position to attack it. Antonio nowhere close. Amazingly, we've started playing the passes and balls that Danny Ings would like the second he comes off, which, if anything, is meaningful. Kera just lost himself at the way Pero went down there. Pero, slightly sheepishly maybe, coming off. Flynn Downs coming on. Okay. Not sure about that one, but all right. I don't know. I'm gonna not say that. We'll back out of that one. Soucek gives away a free kick to Lavia. Look, if we lose, like I said, I felt like it was probably happening. But being honest, I think if a draw, he probably stays, and I think if we win, he definitely stays. I think if we lose today, then he would have gone. I say would have in past tense, like this game is over. I think it's far from over. We've got 25 minutes plus stoppage time to go. in a game that's only 1-0. It's not that deep, but... Downs is about to come on. Be interested to see who for. I suspect it'll be Soucek. It is. Okay. Okay. I will reserve judgment. Hopefully he comes on and does a madness. I will reserve judgment. Come on, Flynn, do a madness. Bowen finds Paqueta. He's trying to find Ben Rama on the run, can't quite find it. First touch for Flynn Downs goes straight to a Southampton player. Ironically, a header. Given the man he's just replaced. Paqueta, sorry, not Paqueta, again does well to pick up the ball and then just drive it forward a little bit. Ben Rama, a little step over, wins a corner. Wins a corner, which we will take. Well, you have to. It's the way the rules go, right? You get a corner, you have to take it. But, you know. Oh, here comes Big Paul. It's the big show. Here he comes. Big Paul. Oniachu. Here he comes. He's flipping massive. Emerson plays the corner in. Oh, no. Oh, shot. No. No. He's bloody massive, isn't he? Poor Oniachu. If you thought I enjoyed big men previously, oh my days. Well, it's Oniachu. Dun 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 dun. It's Oniachu on today. Wow. Yes. Yes, Lewis. Paqueta finds Bowen, does well. Slightly heavy, and Bazunu does well to just come out and collect it. Man mountain. He's huge. He is bloody huge. Solid. Solid. Chokeslam into casket. Yes. Yes. They did. Ito looked really good in that game. His first name began with J. Junior, something like that. He looked really good in that game. I think, having said all that, Oniachu was not great in that game. I'll be honest. As much as I love him, because look how big he is. So I just seen him on the touchline there from the main camera angle, and he's huge. But yeah, I don't think he played that great that game. But still, this is a double substitute from Man City, from Southampton here. Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Oniachu coming on in what can only just be described as reminiscent of Peter Crouch and Jermaine Defoe coming on at the same time for England. Do you remember that? The height difference? That's what we're seeing here. Walcott comes on for the big man, Big Paul. Here he comes, thud, 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 thud. The ground is shaking, ladies and gentlemen. I can feel it all the way from North Idaho. And equally, what was the other sub? Maitland-Niles, I think, for Stuart Armstrong. Oh, a long time. A long time. A long time. He's huge. You love to see it, Agent. You love to see it. Paqueta does well there. and then was absolutely bullied off the ball from Walker-Peters. Papa Boupa Diop. Yes, Papa Boupa Diop. He was huge. Played for Fulham before us, wasn't he? He is a massive unit. In awe at the size of this lad. Torres wants to do his stunt double, yes. He is 6'7". He's over 2 meters. He's over 2 meters. He's huge. He's massive. Anyway, Emerson's across the ball. I'll stop talking about Oniyachi. Emerson's across the ball from the left-hand side. Whips it in. Nodded away from Southampton. Ward-Prowse the one to do it. Recycled the ball with Kehrer. Emerson floated back in. Looking for a Gerd. Can't quite find him. Alcaraz plays it forward. There is he. There he is. There's Big Paul. Loses out instantaneously. You love to see it. Sign him up. I want him in. I want an unnecessarily large geezer in this squad. Oh, that's a good ball over the top for Antonio. He's in an interesting position. The cross is really good, and if anything, I think it was almost Antonio being like, "This is where you should have been." I'll give it. Antonio there collects the ball, and it's in a prime Antonio position, 1v1, just has to get past his man. No time on the ball, just go, and then puts it into a perfect position. It's floated into a really nice height into the 6-yard box. It goes all the way across for a throw-in, but someone there just attacking that, and that's a goal. Second touch from Big Paul, loses it instantaneously. You love to see it. Emerson taken down in his prime by, was it Perro? No, Walker-Peters. Oh, it was Bednarek. It's a wild challenge there from Bednarek. Basically, don't let him have it and then we should be fine. But yeah, a little bit. No bells have been had, MC. No bells have been had. We haven't felt the need to call for them yet, apparently. You know? Mr. Pardew's just saying all of the right things. And big Jeffrey... get Jeffrey Schluppen as well. That's a very important thing. Going to cross it in. Benrahma goes for shot. Good save. Good save. I'll tell you what, it's a good effort from Benrahma. It felt like prime crossing position. Emerson dummy runs it, and then Benrahma does bend it in, and Bazunu just gets it away well. Can't get his hand on it. It's a solid save. I do. I think tonight's the night. Header over. It wouldn't surprise me well, it would surprise me if they kept with him. I suspect it's going to happen. Nodded over from Zuma from the opportunity. Can't quite make it work. To be fair, after the 24 thing, I probably would too. Clothed, but I probably would too. In my gym jams. You know? $15 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Well, 14 minutes, I guess, at this stage. Still 1-0. It's nervy. We certainly feel a little bit more... Since Antonio's come on, maybe a little bit better, but but not very long, if we're being honest. Not much better, just a bit better. First time pass, nicely done by Walker-Peters. If you're counting so far, I think Big Paul's had 4 touches, all of them lost first time, I believe. I love it. I love it so much. Ball and the ball are not friends. They are not friends. They are not buddies. They are not hanging out at the weekends and going top golf. It's not happening. It's not happening. Yeah, I felt that way before the Sammy stuff, and then the Sammy stuff reinvigorated it, and then they split the Sammy stuff off from him again, and I'm like, The stuff with him and Cody's been good, don't get me wrong, but for me, it's time. It's time, you know? Get the belts off him, give him some time off, and then let him come back in a couple of months reinvigorated. It's got to be the mystery lucky man. Shout out to the John Cena picture. I was trying to explain to my girlfriend yesterday why I love John Cena, which was very confusing. And also someone who mentioned Lita earlier. I was trying to explain to her why I love Lita as well. But yeah, right, it's going to be Cody. It's going to be Cody. It's going to be Cody. Southampton passing the ball around at the moment amongst themselves comfortably, but in no real dangerous area. This is completely West Ham territory to let them do that. And the second they get a little bit of incisiveness going, it's a poor pass straight out wide. It's going to be a throw into West Ham in a deep position. Bell, where's the Bell? Bell, enough call for Bells in very quick, almost sudden succession there. I'll be putting a poll in chat. Bell, yes or no? You make the decision. You make the final call. The Bell poll should be appearing any second now, and I'll give you until... We'll give it until 80 minutes on the dot. On the dot. Drew Hill turn tonight. It feels like it's been coming. There's also rumours that his contract's coming to an end and they're not close to signing. I tell you what, I would love Drew to just go on another mad run on the Indies. Maybe hit up AEW, hit up New Japan on the way. I would love a bit of that. His time on the Independents before was sick, but get an Angelica Bell going, ladies and gentlemen. Get a little bit of Angelica Bell whopped in by Aston Villa, Southampton. Because I got distracted by the Caramac. Big play, Stephen. Love that. He looked so pale. That's what I was saying to my girlfriend. She watched the like first hour and a half with me or something. I was saying the same thing. I was like, he looks so pale and he looks old. It's the first time I've ever looked at him and gone, Cena looks old. Also, that bald patch on the back of his, that bald spot on the back of his head is growing. Out wide, not to be harsh, still a lovely, beautiful man. Still, Benrahma tries to whip it in, can't quite make it work. West Ham maintain possession of the ball. Declan Rice to Paqueta, out wide, back to Benrahma. He's got Emerson on the underlap, who he tries to find. That's a nice pass into his path as well. Just pull it across. Fight. Oh, really good. That was good. Bit more of that, ladies and gentlemen, and we'd be cooking on gas. Nicely worked down the left-hand side. Really nice outside of the booth. Perfectly weighted pass from Benrahma into the path of Emerson, who then fires it in, and Antonio was a little bit too far ahead of it, and I don't know who was following up. I think Bowen was a little bit too far behind it. Really nicely worked, though. Really nicely worked. The bell poll is over, ladies and gentlemen, and I can confirm... Oh, it was close. It was moving very quickly at the end. I think it was 69%, 68% said yes, 32% said no. Right. Give me a second. It's bell time, ladies and gentlemen. It's bell time. Ugh. Give me a split second. Where's the button I want? That one. There we go. I'll be back in a sec. Hang on. Bell acquired. Bell acquired, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I couldn't see that from range. It was from an awkward angle, but all of a sudden we're on the attack. Bowen does well driving it down the right and then pinging it across. Hello. Bell. In we go. What do you reckon? Piecemeal or just lob it straight in? Are we breaking into quarters to eat this, or are we just going full hog? What are you thinking with the bell, ladies and gentlemen? No. I just realised that every time you stand up on camera, you should probably... Oh, it should be two. It should have been two. Paqueta's so close. I've just know on camera you should definitely check everything before you stand up, just in case. Whipped in, and then Paqueta. Oh. It drops to him. It deflects the header from Agard onto Paqueta, who controls it, and it's just rising, and it just goes up and over. Pieces, eat the wax, no. Hog it. Down it, eat it like Paul would. That's a great shout. And if there's one thing I know about Paul, it's that a baby bell would be very small in his hands. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, the bell, no messing. I've got a cold and I'm just downing cheese. No. There we go. Bell consumed. Second goal. Will it happen? Will the second goal happen? Big. Nowhere close to anyone. Love that from Emerson. Honestly, 2023 has been an absolute nightmare for me, HDU. Has been an absolute nightmare for me. I've just been constantly ill. I got flipping COVID or whatever it was over the Christmas break when I went away to see my family, and then since then I've just not recovered. I'm just constantly ill. I do think I'm allergic to something in this house. I don't know what, but I do think I am, because I'm just constantly like, you know. I recently got engaged today with my YouTuber. Well, congratulations. I can't see your YouTube channel, but congratulations, sir. Whoever it is, congratulations, and I hope you. I wish you both a wonderful life together and a beautiful wedding, and I hope you have the best old days. I can't click on your YouTube channel because there's a YouTube update, means I can't see it. But congratulations, bro. Solid, good work. Good work. I have cats. I'm allergic to cats, but we don't have a cat. Downstairs has a cat. Am I getting the waft of cat? I don't feel like I should be, but maybe I am. Maybe I am. I'm seeing a lot of caps lock in the word warning and the word pull. Are we going to get a pull? Is there going to be a pull chance? Is that what's about to happen? Played forward, controlled by Southampton, working their way down the left-hand side. Big Paul is in there, sort of hanging around. Last man, he wants it. It's whipped in. Here he is. Paul heads it. Oh, bloody hell, it's off the bar. I don't know if it was off the bar. Hit again over from Southampton. I don't know if it was off the bar or sort of clawed away from Fabianski in a cat-like fashion. But it was whipped in from James Ward-Prowse, and Paul gets his head onto it, and it thunders off the bar. Thunders off it. And then it's hooked over. Great cross from James Ward-Prowse and Big Paul. And Carl Walker-Peters hooks it away. Very, very close. Rises well, gets a strong head on it, and it just bounces off the bar. Flipping heck. He's a dangerous individual, is Big Paul. Did we jinx it by eating it like Paul? Did we accidentally put the baby bell magic onto Big Paul? These are the questions you need to ask yourself. Pablo Fornals and Aaron Cresswell coming on. These are the questions you need to ask yourself. I set myself up for that one. Cresswell for Emerson. Sure, okay. 4-0 for Paqueta. So, yeah, okay. Okay. And yeah, Emerson for Cresswell, which is interesting. 2 interesting subs. Cresswell, definitely a defensive one. He's the more defensive of those 2 fullbacks. You know, just get him there, stop him from doing anything. All right, fair enough. Makes sense. Fornals for Paqueta is a interesting decision. I also did just hear the commentator describe our stadium as cavernous, which is never a great thing. I remember the first time I went there, I was really like blown away by the size of that stadium. I was like, oh my god, it's huge. This is incredible. Like the first match, this was I don't think it was the Juventus one. It was the one before that. That was the actual first match at the stadium as opposed to the official opening. I didn't realise how bad that is as an idea at the time. Antonio, bad control. But he's there. It's still an opportunity. Finds Kara. Antonio just fighting for it. He wins a corner, to be fair to him. He wins a corner, to be fair to him. He wins a corner, to be fair to him. He just fought with it. He just kept battling Antonio. Fair play to him. He didn't stop trying. He just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, trying to make it happen. But it's going to be a corner. Not that we're dangerous from corners anymore. Get Kara on it. Come on. Whip it into a Gaird's head again. Let's go. Bit of vibes. It's whipped in by Bowen. Over the top of a Gaird. Goes all the way to the other side where Southampton let it go out for a goal kick. If Tino Kara had taken that corner, we would be 2-0 up right now. I'm just saying. 3 minutes of stoppage time is what they're saying they expect. We've got 30 seconds until we have that stoppage time commencing. If there's going to be a goal, it's going to be very late on here. I don't think there will be at this point. It does feel like it's going to end 1-0. An interesting game in terms of how it feels. Even though a victory could be incoming, it doesn't feel joyous. As Geo was saying a couple of days ago on one of the videos, I don't remember which one it was, discussing this match and other matches like it in coming up. It is 3 minutes of stoppage time. Moyes does have a habit of pulling out wins when he needs them most. He always has at West Ham, and again, this is one of those games where he's needed it most, and he's managed to eke out a win in a very I think they both have positives and negatives. I think that's fair. I think it's just, I just don't like how far away from the pitch you are. I wouldn't mind the stadium if you were closer to the pitch. Everything around it that people have problems with, I agree, and to get to the stadium, it's a long walk and all that stuff. I agree with all that, that's fair. But my one problem with the stadium really is just how far away from the pitch you are. You are never close to the pitch no matter where you are. And that's a big issue. I remember when we first moved in, there was David Gold did an interview, I think with the BBC or something. Sky Sports, maybe, something like that. Might have even just been a tweet, to be fair. I think it was an interview on the BBC. But he said that no seats at the London Stadium were further away than any of the seats at Wembley. Which might be true. The problem is Wembley is 90,000. We are 30,000 less. And that's my big problem with it. It didn't help as well that my old season ticket, where's my wallet? My wallet's in the kitchen. My old season ticket was in the third final row, which made it feel even further away. But yeah, it is what it is. Bowen collects the ball wide on the right hand side. I tell you what, with a minute to go, we're winning. So it's time for man of the match. Ladies and gentlemen, put who you think your man of the match is in the comment section in the live chat. And then as I scroll through them, whoever I think seems to be getting the most amount of votes win the Hammers Chat Man of the Match award. But who was your man of the match? We're winning. We don't get an opportunity to do that often this year, so screw it. Man of the match time. Let's see who we're vibing. Make sure to stick around as well because there will be a live review of Geo Gonzo straight after this. There will be a live review with Geo Gonzo, so make sure to stick around for that. Southampton looking for a final roll of the dice. 30 seconds to go. Goal kick, big up there. Everyone roaming forward. Big Paul loses out the header to Kurt Zuma. Let's have a look at some of these man of the matches. Me, thank you very much, GP. That's very kind. Disagree, but I appreciate it. Agad, Paul. Yes, Agad. No one, fair. We want him still for, yeah, it's kind of the same, right? Moyes, Agad. And there it is, a 1-0 win for West Ham in what can only be described as scintillating fashion. Don't you feel infused? Up to 14th position. Wild. Agad, goal scorer, Kara, Agad. It's probably Agad. Congratulations to Naif, Agad, Nathan Agard, on winning the Hammers Chat Man of the Match award. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Massively appreciate it. Remember to stick around because, like I say, in just a few moments' time, Geo Gonzo will be live on this very channel with a full-time review of the game. Until then, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, because, you know, we've got lots of stuff coming up. Hit that bell notification button so you don't miss out on any of it. Plus, like the video because it helps us out massively. The review coming up in just a few moments' time as David Moyes manages to scrap his way to a 1-0 victory. Up to 14th position, West Ham with a very good goal difference compared to everyone else. 1 point ahead of the relegation zone. You love to see it with a game in hand against Manchester City. Still, enjoy the review, everyone. We don't win rarely, so we don't win commonly. So make sure to enjoy it while you can. Until next time, we'll see you for the Newcastle game, I believe it is. See you next time, everyone. Come on, you irons, and enjoy yourselves. See you later, everyone. Bye. Charlie wave now. Charlie wave. Bye.